Hey Google, what's the weather?
Currently in Seattle it's 43 with showers. Today, there'll be showers, with a forecasted high of 48 and a low of 46.
Thanks, Google. Tonight we'll get overnight rain showers with lows around 45. This will carry into Tuesday when we'll get more showers and a high around 50. This report is brought to you... Oh gosh. This weather report is brought to you by Google Assistant. It's your personal Google Assistant and it's always ready to help. With over 1 million actions, it works across all of your devices like Google Home, your phone, and more. Google Assistant is ready for you whenever and wherever you need. Download it today and discover what your Google Assistant can do for you. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
There is a dinosaur in Southgate. Oh. It is 5:46. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm curious about a dinosaur in Northgate, that's for sure.
Well, I don't know if there's a dinosaur in Northgate. That's why I said there's a dinosaur in Southgate.
Oh, Southgate, sorry.
What's Southgate?
No,
Southgate?
what is it? It's 5:46. She's already not listening to me. I can't go on.
What's Southgate?
I'm scared, though, if there's a dinosaur anywhere.
I want to stay away from there.
Well, I could be wrong. I might have been in Northgate. Now I'm confused and scared. Is there a Southgate Mall?
Not locally that I'm aware of. South Center?
South Center Mall. So we're both right and or wrong. Hey.
Eastgate? There's an Eastgate.
I wasn't in Eastgate.
There should
I was
be.
in
I think
South
there's
Center Mall.
I'm pretty sure there's even a Westgate. There should
There's
totally
a
be a
Westgate.
Southgate.
There's a Westgate and there's a Northgate.
Yeah.
But there's apparently no Southgate. There's a
No,
South Center.
Center.
And I was in South Center
Gotcha.
Saturday, I think. Whatever it was, there was a dinosaur there. Because I'm walking around the mall, and tell me if you don't agree completely. I'm walking around the mall, and first of all, we go to the food court. Do you know my half of because we didn't want to go to the same place. One of the great things about a food court was we're going to eat lunch there, which is good because we were both complaining we're spending too much money going out to lunch, going out to dinner. Let's eat at the food court. It'll be bitching.
Yeah, they have great food.
They do have great food. I went to a fish and chips place, and she went to wherever the hell she went to Johnny Rockets and got a remarkable burger.
Yes.
I don't care for burgers really. That's a nice burger. I went to a fish place, the fish place that's famous around here. Ivers, right?
Yeah.
They had an Ivers there. So my half of the food court lunch was $19.
Wow.
What the hell happened to the food courts?
Yeah, what happened?
Order.
I ordered a normal, almost nothing. I was going to get fish and chips. That's why I went there.
Yeah.
Fish and chips, that's an answer. And then I saw all these other things that they sell with and chips. Like you can have dog face and chips, like probably not literally, but you know what I mean? You get,
Shrimp and chips.
yeah, so
clam strips and chips.
Scallops and
scallops.
chips. So I did that. And then as I was leaving, I said, you know what? Will it take you much time to throw on an order of clam strips? To which they said no. So they're liars. But whatever she was doing at Johnny Rocket took 6, 7, 8 minutes longer. And that seems like a long time when you're sitting by yourself in the food court looking like some sort of, weird dude checking out people's heinies. Not that I was.
No, not this time.
So I don't know what she gets from Johnny Rocket, except the burger is absolutely delicious. But, it was a lot of dough. So while I was waiting for my scallops and chips, which, by the way, even though I think they're super expensive for a food court, if I tried to cook those at home, they'd be $25. And if I tried to get them in a restaurant, they'd be $45.
Yeah,
How
for
is it
sure.
the divers can get them? Because they're nice, real scallops. They weren't kidding around scallops.
Yeah.
So I get mine. I get the clam chips. I think they're going to be lovely. She likes them. Everything's good. Her burger's yummy. So while I'm waiting for my food to be ready, I walk around a little bit and I find these awesome shoes. I think awesome shoes. So when she's done, we go over, they don't have those awesome shoes in my size. Why do they not have my size?
Why's that?
Because I want a pair of little girls' tennis shoes, and I want them a lot, and they won't sell them to me. And I said, you don't have those in boy size? And they said, no, boys don't want those shoes. I said, this boy wants those shoes, Mr. Grumpy Face. And
what was so girly about them that they wouldn't have them in a boy size?
they are shockingly pink. Like if you can imagine pink in your mind, get that pink in your mind. Now turn it up 3 more levels. And then here you go. There are these.
Oh, those are mighty pink.
Aren't
Those
those
are awesome,
bitchin'?
man.
I
Those are
know.
pink on
Thank
11.
you.
So you were able to find them in your size?
No, these are not the shoes that I want. These are like 2 other tries to get the shoes I want. Also the Converse. You know, it's like, woo, we don't have them in your size. I have tiny little, I'm a dancer, mister. Get me my shoes. And he said, I can't help you, Mr. Dancer. You're a tiny dancer. Dancing for money. So anyway, I got them. I'm very excited about that. So, but Amy.
Are they boy shoes or girl shoes, by the way?
They're boy shoes in size, yeah, I don't know.
They might
And
be
whatever
girl
your
shoes?
size is.
Yeah, no, they're 9.5, so they're boy shoes. But that makes no difference to me. I have a lot of girls' shoes and clothes and pants and underwear. Ooh, shh.
No, we all know.
I know. So
No, it's just funny that they wouldn't have the original pink and boys, but then he's like, oh, yeah, those are little girl shoes.
No, just out of my size. They had a size
okay.
too small, and I don't know if they had a size. Yeah, and a size too big. They did not have them in boys. They just didn't have them in 9.5.
Gotcha.
They had these, which are exactly like the Converse, maybe even a more inviting color of pink. So, you know, and I am assuming I said, I'm so mad at this dude. I thought he was like the greatest salesman in the world. He comes out like he doesn't have my shoes. Before I can get to the exit, I'm leaving. He comes out with like 5 different pairs of shoes in all different sizes and all different shades of pink. And sure enough, the shoes I'm wearing are there. And I
that's
said, you're
awesome.
a great
Cool.
salesman, dude. He goes, well, got to be honest, I'm a big fan of the show. And I said,
how cool.
Yeah, totally cool. And so he even tells the guys behind the cash register, it's Dave Advertisements from the Dave Advertisements Saturday Morning Show. And they all go, woo, woo. And he goes, you got to have these socks. Oh, well, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. And he goes, you know what? You got to get this spray on stuff so the color never runs in your shoes. They're bitching. And I go on. He goes, yeah, I think I'm a big fan of the show. So, okay.
So he must own the joint, and he's, just showing his appreciation for you by throwing his stuff in.
I don't know what he does with his joint, but I'll tell you what he does with me. He charges me for all those things, which I expect. I'm in there. I'm buying shoes. Of course, I expect to be charged. But you go, I'm a big fan of the show. You have to have these socks.
Right.
Doesn't that sound like a gift?
It does sound like
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
I'm guessing he wasn't the owner and actually wouldn't have been authorized to do any of these.
No, he was a little hippie bastard.
So you're right. He is a fantastic salesperson.
Yes, he
'cause
is.
He got you to buy all that
I
stuff.
got this spray goo. Like, what spray on their tennis shoes? Some people might. So anyway, real quick, because so we're looking around and I see it. The dinosaur in South
Yeah.
Center Mall. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I've been there, and I've never seen a dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. Go to the top food, buy the food court, turn around 3 times, and then look, and there it is. Hot Topic.
Oh.
Did you know that there was any of those left?
I did know there were those left,
Yeah,
but I
just
did
in the
not know
malls.
they sold dinosaurs there.
No, they're the dinosaur.
Oh.
Because they're extinct, and then I found one. Yeah, I thought they were all gone. First of all, I thought malls were all gone.
Yeah.
And then now, not only are malls not gone, but a Hot Topic is still there and thriving. I went in. I ended up, he said nice shoes, so I had to buy them, buy stuff. But I went in there. Amy wanted to go in there and get whatever weird groupie crap she's doing these days. I don't even remember, but I'm assuming something with either Tim Curry or John Lennon. It's a weird group of people in my wife's head, including me. So Johnny Depp walks up to us. Now you may say, what are the odds? And
Yeah,
I'm
what
thinking,
are the odds?
What are the odds?
At Southgate Mall.
Yeah, well, there's a dinosaur already. So I don't say anything to him, but it's certainly Johnny Depp. No two ways about it.
Really?
And he's dressed exactly as you have seen him at some premiere or some, wearing a wide-brimmed kind of brownish.
Fedora almost.
Yes,
like that,
exactly.
Yeah.
Straight build all the way around. Like he's been iron flat. Way too much eye makeup. Way too much eyebrow makeup. And his mustache and his beard, not a goatee because they don't touch. I don't know if that's a goatee or not. Whatever it is, painted in heavy. Like whatever hair he had there was not that color. And you can't miss that this is Johnny Depp. I said to Amy, I said, that Johnny Depp guy's freaking me out. And she said, me too. He's the manager of the store. And I don't know this. I think He's a creepy guy at Hot Topic
Oh.
who dresses up and does. I mean, it's great. And turns out I know this guy.
Oh.
And he does not look like Mr. Depp ever. He just did enough stuff to look exactly like him.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, I will never speak to you again. I know that that's not a big threat to a guy at Hot Topic that I might never speak to him again, but in my head, it seemed like a huge thing. And then he said this on my way out. I said, because I just wanted to make sure, I said, so you're the same guy that helped me get T-shirts for my son when he was last time. He goes, oh, yeah, that was me. You know, I just dress up on Saturdays. Every Saturday, coming next Saturday. I went, well, now I like him. He puts the effort into Hot Tub. He's no dinosaur. He's a showman.
Well, hard to believe that it is March 26th and we have a winter weather advisory throughout much of western Washington. Heavy snow falling in the Cascades. We've got rain falling throughout Seattle and colder temperatures than normal. So give yourself extra time out there on your commute this morning. Also in the news, an elderly woman was taken to the hospital yesterday after driving into an O'Reilly Auto Parts in Maple Valley.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a drive-through.
You know,
Park, go inside.
I saw the exact same thing happen at Safeway by my house.
Oh, you did?
Guy, actually, we watched it happen. And a couple people were standing there talking. I was on a walk with Amy, and just this old guy, his foot slipped off the brake and hit the gas, and he just went up. He didn't crash through the brick wall, but his car did not look like it suffered little damage. It suffered a lot of damage. Yeah.
Well, in this case, a similar situation, though the woman, however, had a medical emergency while she was driving eastbound on Maple Valley Highway. She was going at a high rate of speed, hit two unoccupied trucks, and one of those trucks was pushed into the O'Reilly Auto Parts store. They said they will not be citing her, that she did have a medical emergency.
The super good news is you just go to Riley's to fix your car.
You're right.
How hard can that be? They got a Phillips head. That's all I need.
Police say a 37-year-old man went to McDonald's in Oregon, was belligerent, demanded they make him 30 double cheeseburgers, and when they refused, he tried to destroy the Golden Arches.
You can't do that.
You can't
You might
do
as well
that.
drive your car into an American flag.
Yeah.
Jedediah Ezekiel Fulton.
Oh, that tells you a lot right there, really. Now, did he throw the serpents he was handling at anybody?
Jedediah Ezekiel Fulton was arrested on suspicion of second-degree disorderly conduct, second-degree criminal trespass, and a slew of other charges. But he demanded the 30 double cheeseburgers, and when they said no, he went on a rampage. He grabbed people.
Well, there's 30 people waiting for him. They're going to be mad.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what gave them the impression that he wasn't able to pay for them or how he had demanded these. Like I said, he was belligerent.
Because normally you pay in advance, so you'd think they would just take his money. If he doesn't have the money, then tell him no.
Right.
Yeah, or perhaps they said, 30 will take this amount of time, and that's when he went crazy pants.
Or he
sounds like
said,
a
hi,
prank.
my name is Ezekiel. And they said no. That's what I think
Jedediah
happened.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump had people a little concerned on Friday. He had threatened to veto the $1.3 trillion spending bill that was passed by Congress. But then by Friday afternoon, he did indeed sign off on the initiative after all. He was mad that there weren't some concessions for what he wanted, less for DACA, more for the walls. And then he said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and sign this. Therefore, we did not have any government shutdown. So that was on Friday. And then last night, Stormy Daniels went on to 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper, her first sit-down interview where she disclosed a relationship that she is alleging with Donald Trump. So this porn actress and director is now 39 years old.
By the way, how'd she get that second credit?
As in directing a porn? Why not?
Because why not? I'm fine with it, but nobody said it until recently. All of a sudden they said, porn star Stormy Daniels, porn star Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
And then one day they started going, porn star and director, like she put it in her rider. Like if you want to say I'm no good, and you have to put in that I'm also a director.
Yeah.
Well, she said to Anderson Cooper last night on 60 Minutes that she met Donald Trump at a golf tournament back in 2006, shortly after Melania Trump gave birth to their son, Barron.
Ooh.
She says that she was indeed paid hush money. And in the interview...
she's doing a terrible job at hushing.
Well, she's suing, saying that he never signed the confidentiality
never did.
agreement.
Right.
But
Which is so weird because I don't understand how all of this works. He didn't sign as Donald Davis,
Yeah.
DD.
Some sort of.
So, and she's
fake
not
name.
Stormy Daniels either, or her real name, I don't
Stephanie
think.
Clifford.
Is she Stephanie Clifford on that thing, or is she some other alias?
I believe it is her real name on there, but that he didn't sign it. Therefore, she says it's nullified and she can freely talk about it.
Well, unfortunately for her, she's wrong on that.
Well, here's what she said is the reason that she was prompted to fold and sign originally.
I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter. I was taking, the seats facing backwards in the back seat, diaper bag, getting all the stuff out. And a guy walked up on me and said to me, leave Trump alone, forget the story. And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, a beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom. And then he was gone.
So she's saying that's why she was scared for the safety of her daughter. That's why she signed. She went into pretty significant detail about the alleged relationship with Donald Trump, said that it was a one-time sexual relationship.
That actually surprised me because leading up to it, I thought that this was some sort of ongoing affair,
Yeah.
but she says it was just the one time.
Yep. One time, there was some weird spanking that took place.
Yeah,
Like
by the
seconds
way,
after they met.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for one moment.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of this that I don't believe, and there's a lot of it that I do. But he says something fairly normal, and she says, well, you ought to be spanked. Do you have this audio?
I don't have this. There's
She says,
a ton of it.
well, you ought to be spanked. And she said, you just give me that magazine you're reading. Did you see it?
Right, he had a magazine and he was saying, you know,
was
did
on
you?
the cover.
It was he's on the cover.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
saying to her, "Did you see my magazine
And
cover?"
she says, how dare you? You should be spanked. So he not only hands her the magazine, stands up, takes his pants down, and bends over to a stranger he's never met.
Oh, I can absolutely see that happening.
See,
you know why?
I don't-
Because that sounds like something you would do, Danny.
I would do it.
I believed so much of this interview, including that point, not because she seems so credible, but because it just seems so Donald Trump.
See,
Yeah.
I haven't pulled his pants down and being spanked in maybe some weird let's get spanked, not in a hi, how do you do? As a person who may or may not have been spanked, you don't do it right after that. You lead up to spanking.
She did talk a bit about the relationship itself, that one time that she was concerned about his wife, you know, the fact that he's married and they're right down the hall. And she said this.
Did he mention his wife or child at all in this?
I asked, and he brushed it aside, said, oh, yeah, you know, don't worry about that. We have separate rooms and stuff.
So she also says that relationship, and that's what I'm calling it as in adult relations, was unprotected. So there's a lot of reveals.
That's just crazy. Not that I don't believe that one.
Yeah.
There are people that just don't want to ride any other way. But can you imagine in today's, this is essentially a prostitute.
Right.
She has sex in exchange for money. I don't care what else you do with that sex act. She's a prostitute. Who has sex with a prostitute without protection?
And no matter who she is, this is a person you met that day.
That day.
Like you don't, I mean, you know maybe what her profession is, but you don't know anything about her really.
Well, she was asked by Anderson Cooper if she was holding anything back, and she said, my attorney recommended I don't discuss those things. So it's possible that she has text, email, video, photos, and that her lawyer is saying don't show that stuff yet.
Because the lawyer's been putting some things out on Twitter alluding to the fact that he does have some sort of video or pictures.
proof.
The
Yeah.
lawyer's as creepy as everybody else in this story. That, so far in my book, I don't know if she's the least creepy, but the person that bothers me the least is her. You know what you're getting with this lady. She's a porn star. She has sex in exchange for money in public places. If she wants to extort a president or not extort a president, I don't know what she's up to, but she's giving me the exact behavior I suspect for her. When she does all these, well, of course you're doing that. Donald Trump, I don't get why he's doing this stuff. And the lawyer who seems to be coming out okay, that every now and again just makes these crazy statements. So I just think at least the person who I know what I'm getting for my money is the porn star.
Well, and when Anderson Cooper asked her, why come out now? Aren't you afraid that you could, that they could hit you with another $1 million? Because
It's
you
up to
violated
$20 million
that.
now.
Right, and couldn't this possibly cost you $1 million? And she said that's proof that I am telling the truth because I'm putting myself so much at risk. That's proof that I am telling the truth. Why would I do this if I have all these things against me? Why else would I do it other than to clear my name?
You're doing it on 60 Minutes, and you're a porn star. You say the celebrity's making your prices go up. There's the reason.
Yeah. Well, if she has to pay that $1 million fine, I can't help her out, but I can help somebody out with a
Right.
chance to win $1,000.
There you go.
Text money to 200-200 right now. KZOK.com for all the details.
Hydrochloric acid spilled from a tanker truck when it crashed near the BC-Alberta border and has leaked that acid all over Dawson's Creek.
Not Dawson's Creek.
I see, are any of these things real?
Like James Vanderbeek and the whole crew?
Yeah,
Katie
What's up
all
with
of them.
Vanderbeek?
What?
What's up with Vanderbeek these days?
I don't know. He did some movies for a
Yeah,
while, and
I
I haven't
remember.
seen him now.
Well,
lately.
he's got to clean up a big mess up in Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
There is the corrosive tanker truck that crashed on Highway 2 just south of Dawson's Creek. The tanker and the pup trailer ended up in a ditch. The pup trailer was upside down. They said, oh, nothing's leaked. Everything's fine here. And that's when the environmental agency showed up and said, there's 17,000 liters of hydrochloric acid spilled all over the road and Dawson's Creek.
Liters.
Are the
had-
dogs okay?
Are the dogs okay?
Yeah, were there not dogs in the pup trailer?
Oh.
I don't know what a pup trailer is. Is that not something you keep dogs?
Yeah.
And did
I
somebody?
was going to say when it's upside down, I was going to say, can I rub its belly? But at least I thought better of it.
So somebody let the dogs out, so they're
No,
okay.
and as far as I know, did.
Sad story from the weekend. We talked about this a little bit on Friday, that there had been a family of 4 from Iowa that had gone missing while vacationing in Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, over the weekend, they were found, and sadly, they were all deceased. They had gone to sleep and did not wake up again. They are saying it was toxic gases that were in their rented condo on Mexico's Caribbean coast. They are still trying to figure out exactly what it was, but it sounds perhaps like carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
But they are going to have to do a toxicology report. They do not know what type of gas yet.
So I'm assuming, though, if there's a bright side, and there really isn't, that nobody saw this coming.
No.
They went to sleep on a nice vacation, probably in the Tulum area, somewhere like
Yes.
that, and went to sleep and just, never got up again. What a tragedy.
Awful. The maiden flight of a new nonstop regular passenger service between Australia and London touched down over the weekend at London's Heathrow Airport. This is the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. It was operated by Qantas. 17 hours. And this was a new link between Perth and London. This is 20 miles short of the world's longest route, which is Auckland to Doha. But this is still one of the longest routes that you can take when it comes to airplane travel. They did not have this link before. Perth, is the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And you could go London to Sydney. You could do it via Dubai, but this is the first time Perth and London.
I heard something about, I don't think it was this story, but just the distance from London to Sydney or something. And I thought they had it wrong. I thought, no, it's not that far. I thought it was way less far than it is from here, but it's like 2,000 or 3,000 miles more from here. I had no idea.
This is a 9,009-mile journey. As I said, 20 miles short of the world's longest route.
So is the longest route just a longer runway?
20
miles? What else is 20 miles?
I know, you wonder, couldn't you just go to the next airport?
Yeah.
Right outside of London, go to Gatwick or something?
Although I imagine most people are ready to get off that airline.
Yeah.
17 hours.
Where's Doha?
Doha, I believe, is India.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Doha! That's having a fight with somebody.
That sounded Indian.
No, it did.
A group of inmates are tending to 200 roosters at an Arkansas sheriff's office pending their use as evidence against 137 people arrested after a cockfight. The sheriff said the birds will be held.
Well, it's a prison. What do you expect?
The Texarkana Gazette reported several agencies raided a cockfight near DeQueen. They tracked down an operation.
What was she doing there? Who else is watching these cockfights? DeQueen. Shocked.
Well, they outlawed the fox hunting, so she's got to do something for sport.
Well, they outlawed these things too. These things are illegal, I think.
They are.
Yeah.
They are highly illegal. So much so that these people move their operation every weekend
What does
as
she
to
mean,
not
these
get
people?
caught. The people who perpetrate this crime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, they were able to track them down, arrested a whole slew of people, but need the roosters as evidence. So
what's your name? Okay, Steve. Is this your cock? Is that his cock? And then that's how they'll do it, right? You have to
Yeah.
identify it.
You identify the
Right
rooster.
there in
Otherwise,
court.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot lately in the news about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Because what he does is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I bet on this guy.
Typically when you think of Elon Musk, you think of the Tesla, and then you think of SpaceX. You think about the money. You think about the advancements for science, the
train.
hyperlink.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Hyperloop.
Well, now
Yeah.
Link.
Elon Musk we're finding out a little bit more about his family. He gave an interview a few months ago with Rolling Stone and called his father a terrible human being. He said, "My dad will have a carefully thought out plan of evil. He will plan evil. You have no idea how bad. Almost every evil thing you can think of, he has done." And people were like, whoa, he doesn't like his dad.
Yeah, and your mind jumps to like a handful of things. When you think the worst things a dad can do, they're bad.
Yeah.
Well, he gave an interview, Elon Musk's dad, over the weekend, the Sunday Times of London, and said he is the father of a new baby named Jana. And they said, really? Well, who is the baby mama? And he said, oh, that is my stepdaughter. He married a woman when this young girl was 4 years old, raised her, and then impregnated her and married her.
Wow, you sure he would? Would he? 'Cause Woody Allen did.
Yeah.
Yep, 4 years old and raised her.
She's over 4 now.
She is over 4 now. She is 30, but she was 4 when her mom married Elon Musk's dad. So this is Elon Musk's stepsister,
Right.
half-sister, stepsister.
Yeah, okay.
And
Whatever you got.
And now dad has a baby with his stepsister. What does that make it? His step cousin?
I think it makes it his
Step-nephew?
own. It's a girl, right?
Oh my God, it's his niece
And his
Step-niece.
sister.
What's
Wow.
his niece sister?
His niece daughter.
His niece daughter.
No, Elon
his kid,
Musk.
right?
It's his sister, not his daughter.
His child is his sister?
Yes. No, Elon Musk's father
Yeah.
had a baby,
Yeah.
making it his sister, but it's his half-sister and his niece at the same time. No,
Cousin.
cousin.
Okay.
I
Sister
don't know.
cousin.
I get it. It's bad.
Creepy.
It's creepy. Oh, okay. Paul,
Yeah.
on a scale of 1 to 10 in creepiness,
Yeah.
1 being not creepy at all, 10 being the most creepy possible. What is this?
I'm going to say 5 only because that story changed so many times throughout that I was a little confused. Because at first it was his step daughter and then it was his stepsister. And
No, I said it's Elon Musk's stepsister.
Right. He married his own stepdaughter.
Yes, that he raised at
That
age
Okay.
4.
8.
Okay, I'm still sticking with your 5.
Really?
Yeah. But I get that I just have a weirder scale. It's like, I don't know. There's no, they don't have the same blood. They're allowed to have baby. It's odd. It's super odd. Yeah, maybe a 6. Maybe even a 7.
It's her father. She's only known him as a father.
Right.
4 years old. She grew up and then married her father and had a
Right.
baby with her dad.
Yeah.
Right.
It sounded even 9.5.
It sounds worse the way you say it. But they're not blood related in any way or
Right.
shape or form. They can have a baby and it's not going to have 2 heads or anything like that. So it's super weird. Is it against any laws?
No.
Yeah, then I'm
Because they're
giving
not
it.
blood related.
I'm jumping up to a 7.
But Woody Allen grosses you out.
Not 1,000, not more than a 7.
Yeah, I mean, I get you that it's not blood, and I think with Woody Allen that kid was older. Sun Yi was older when
Yeah, well, I think she was 9 when she came to the family, and like 17 when
Right,
she started
well-
taking nude pictures of her.
4. You're still potentially potty training, and
Yeah.
Ew.
Wow. You shouldn't
By
be.
the
at
way,
four.
yeah, you should.
Only if you were really bad at it at
How stupid
2
is
and
this
3.
kid? I'm not marrying a kid that's not potty trained at 4. That's for sure. Oh man, how old is she? 15. She's gonna talk soon. What? Well, no.
but if Elon Musk said he is like the evil of all evil, that's just one of the stories.
That's the first
we
thing
know.
that jumped to my mind. A different version,
Yeah.
but touching the kids is the first thing that jumped to mind.
I think we're gonna find out a little bit more about evil Daddy Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is up to all sorts of stuff these days, though.
I guess we should signify the difference to his father's name is Errol. So Elon Musk is still a good dude.
Yeah.
Errol Musk, who is 72, he's the one who married.
He's 72?
72.
Oh, you could have mentioned that. He's 72 years old and just had a baby with a 4-year-old?
with the woman who was 4 and
I'm
is
going-
now
She was
30.
once 4 in her
Yes.
life.
Well, I was once 4 and I didn't marry the guy. I don't know what you're saying, Paul.
72.
All right.
Ugh. It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay.
A mom is in jail after trying to teach her kids a lesson. She said, "You kids are going to learn, and y'all are going to learn the hard way." Bahari Warren, age 25, is facing 2 counts of child cruelty. Authorities say she was traveling northbound when she crossed over the southbound lanes and drove head-on into a pole. Her kids in the back seat, age 5 and 7. And they said, she didn't just want us to have a car accident. Mom wanted to teach us that God is real.
Wow. And then he made streetlights?
Well, she said, yes, I did intentionally crash the car. I wanted to prove to my children that God is real. Not exactly sure what that means because that's crazy.
Because they're not dead, I think.
That he saved them from...
And if they'd have died, they were on their way to meet him. There was no real... She could not lose this bet.
Right, yeah. If they die, it was his plan. If they don't die, his plan. Yeah.
Well, guess where the kids are? Not with mommy.
Yeah, child services.
They are with grandparents while mommy is facing a whole slew of charges. And I'm going to guess maybe a psych eval?
It's so weird how, like, you walk around and you have no idea how weird people are. I'll bet she comes off normal during the day. I bet she has a job.
Potentially,
and people have no idea that she's that crazy.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Well, we are going to take a very short break, but when we come back in music news, what music legend took part in the March for Our Lives rally? This is quite cool. And what KZOK artist is taking part in a brand new music festival? It sounds amazing. You're going to want to go to this. Saturday Night Live disclosing the worst guest host ever.
Oh, wow.
And what Mariner is getting the A-OK to start on opening day. We'll tell you next in Sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by the UPS Store in Puyallup on Highway 512 eastbound. As you make your way between 94th Avenue and Pioneer Way, we have some stop-and-go traffic and some minor delays in Marysville on I-5 southbound, just south of 88th Street. With the UPS Store shredding services powered by Iron Mountain, you can have confidence knowing your private information is staying private. Visit the upsstore.com today to find one of 90 locally owned Western Washington store locations in your neighborhood. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Currently in Seattle, it's 43 with showers. Today, there'll be showers with a forecasted high of 48 and a low of 46.
Thanks, Google. Tonight we'll get overnight rain showers with lows around 45. This will carry into Tuesday when we'll get more showers and highs around 50. This report is brought to you by Google Assistant. It's your personal Google Assistant, and it's always ready to help. With over 1 million actions, it works across all of your devices, like Google Home, your phone, and more. Google Assistant is ready for you whenever and wherever you need. Download it today and discover what your Google Assistant can do for you. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with some music news, legendary musician Paul McCartney took part in the March for Our Lives rally in New York City over the weekend and was spotted not too far from where John Lennon was killed.
Oh, wow.
Due, of course, to gun violence in 1980. Paul McCartney was wearing a shirt that read, "We can end gun violence." Now, CNN had a correspondent on scene and asked, "Can we make change? Do you believe we can make change through legislation?" And Paul McCartney said, "I don't know, but this is what we can do, so I'm here to do it.
Wow.
One of my best friends was killed in gun violence right around here, so it's important to me."
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, no, I was going to say in some way it's not any more amazing than you guys showing up, but it is. It's Paul McCartney showing
Paul
up
McCartney,
for
yeah.
his dead friend, John Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, everybody, we didn't participate in the marches, but we were on large walks yesterday and ran into it. Was it yesterday or Saturday?
Saturday.
We were on Saturday. We ran into it in Seattle a couple of times. Nice little turnout. Everybody's reasonably well behaved and things, which I appreciate.
I had a lot of friends who did take part and said that it was a great show of unity, thousands of people. And then at the Seattle Center, there was a concert. Brandy Carlisle performed and Dave Matthews showed up.
Very cool.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Did he show up and watch? Or did he show up and play?
He performed a little bit with Brandy Carlisle, but he is a father and he does have a home in Western Washington. So
Right.
important for him. So nice of him to take part as well. San Diego has a large music and entertainment festival called Cabo del Mar, and they have announced a 3-day event that will be held this September at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club and Fairgrounds, and the lineup is awesome.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
I am.
Foo Fighters,
Yep.
Yep.
Alice in Chains,
Yep.
Yeah.
Stone Temple Pilots,
Yep.
Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators,
Yep.
Cake, Jimmy
Yeah.
Eat World, Incubus, Better Than Ezra, Everclear, Soul Asylum, Candlebox, Katy Perry, Imagine Dragons, and Robert Plant.
Wow.
How did Katy
Are they
Perry
ever
get
going
in
to do
there?
weird
Right.
stuff to Katy Perry? What's that?
Yeah.
It is a weird addition.
It sounds awesome. From top to bottom, the entire lineup sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Even with Katy Perry
Yeah,
thrown in.
she's got a top and bottom.
Yeah.
It's expected to draw more than 100,000 people, and as I said, a 3-day festival sounds absolutely
And you say it
amazing.
was in San Diego?
San Diego.
Yeah, neat.
The Del Mar Thoroughbred Club and Fairgrounds, September 14 through 16. Sounds spectacular.
Yeah, I'm in.
There are so many concerts coming up this summer, and of course, you can always find all that information at KZOK.com. We know that pinball machines have been kind of making a comeback. That Kiss sort of started their...
I just saw a Kiss pinball machine the other day on the
That's
back of a
right.
truck.
Well, Kiss has one, Aerosmith, Metallica, AC/DC, and now Iron Maiden. An
Neat.
Iron Maiden themed pinball machine will be launched, and they said it will be set to the classic track Somewhere in Time, and then you play and the music plays as well. So that's
Is
kind of one
that
of
a
the...
kid song?
I don't know that as a kid song.
Is it? So then it's not. I'm asking.
It's an Iron Maiden song.
Right, but was it, I don't know. Isn't it the same as Somewhere Out There? Is that the same song?
I don't believe so. Somewhere out there and
Somewhere out there where your face is blue or whatever it is.
I know.
Somewhere in Time.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I know Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's kind of a
Different
kid song.
Apparently they're not the same song.
I don't believe Iron Maiden cover Somewhere Over
No,
the
I
Rainbow.
thought somebody
No,
like
that'd be
tweaked an
great,
Iron
though.
Maiden song
No.
and made it a kid song.
It is an Iron Maiden
All
song.
right, thank you.
Now, the Aerosmith pinball machine sold for between $6,000 and $9,000.
Jeez.
So this one likely will be in that ballpark, meaning it is out of most of our range.
Right. God, when I was a kid, like everybody's friend had at least one friend had a pinball machine in his house, and they were in the handful of hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars.
There's a song called "Somewhere Out There" from Five-O Goes West.
That's it.
Or one of American Tail, one of the Five-O movies.
That's the one I thought it was.
Yeah.
It is not.
I don't believe
there's
that's
a little bit of
Iron
"Caught
Maiden.
Somewhere in Time" by Iron Maiden.
Doesn't sound like 5-0. All right.
I thought there'd be lyrics. Apparently not.
No problem, man. I thought a rat sang it, but apparently not.
But this one's called "Somewhere in Time," and the song from
The other
movie
one's somewhere
is
out there.
yeah.
Right.
Bill Hader returned to Saturday Night Live and was a guest host. You know, he used to be on the show as a regular contributor.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented dude, successful dude, and they asked him when he gave an interview after the fact. He went back to SNL. They were talking to him and Jay Farrow, another guy from SNL, and they said, you know, you guys were on the show for a long time, Saturday Night Live. Who was the worst behaved musical guest or host during your time at SNL? And both Jay Farrow and Bill Hader looked at each other and said, yeah, we know. We don't even have to talk to each other. We know who the worst was. Justin Bieber.
No.
He was in a bad place. Maybe he's in a better place, but back then he was in it was rough. Everybody's usually on great behavior. Bieber is the only one in my experience.
Was this the one when is around the time when he's throwing eggs at everybody?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or getting into car accidents or
Well, that's weird,
drinking
but
sizzurp.
on Justin's behalf, and I believe he was. I have no reason not to. I have nothing to invest in this guy. But isn't he one of he's like an EGOT almost. Isn't he one of the few people that has been the musical guest and the host?
I think he's done both, yeah.
Yeah.
No, same day.
Oh, same day?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
probably.
think they're doing that more and more now. I think Miley Cyrus just did that pretty
I'm
recently.
pretty sure Miley Cyrus did it.
But-
So, I mean, that's got to be a lot of weight. But you
Yeah.
can be nice
Yeah.
until
just
it's time
doesn't-
not to be nice.
Doesn't sound like he was
Roadhouse.
nice.
Roadhouse.
No. Everything is awesome for Tiffany Haddish. She is joining the voice cast of the Lego Movie 2 as a key new character. Now, she is riding high her career right now. Of course, getting her start with Girls Trip, which I don't know if either one of you guys saw, Paul or Danny, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I have not seen it.
A lot of people have only seen the grapefruit scene, which is hilarious. If you don't want to sit through the whole thing, are you not familiar with the grapefruit scene, Danny? You're looking at me like I'm
No.
crazy.
No, just curious.
She is the very crass girl on the girls' trip.
Does she shoot a grapefruit?
No.
I mean, I'd
She-
watch that.
She shows how to use it in the bedroom. And it is absolutely side-splitting hilarious. Like I said, if you can't watch the whole movie, YouTube this clip
Definitely watch that part.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
watch that part because
Some girl I never heard of with a grapefruit scene.
This is the girl you have heard of her. Your wife has talked about her, that she went to a Groupon pedicure mani-pedi.
Oh, yeah,
with Will
yeah.
Smith
She's
and Jada
everywhere.
Pinkett Smith. Yeah, she is everywhere. She was at the Academy Awards.
Yes, she was.
She was so good.
All from taking Queen Latifah out for a mani-pedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the grapefruit thing. That's pretty impressive.
Because
but
Queen
it was the
Latifah-
Queen Latifah thing that made the
Yeah.
orange.
But that certainly hasn't hurt her career.
No.
Yeah, Queen Latifah is also in Girls Trip,
Right.
and that movie did really well at the box office. So she was also at the Academy Awards, and they said she was so good that they could see her co-hosting, that she is absolutely the next real big talent.
Wow.
She's got books that have come out. She's got an an HBO special that's coming out. Like, she is about to blow up.
Does she have is she in a show, Two Dope Queens? Two
I don't know that one.
Mad Queens?
She's
I know the
been
show you're
seen on
talking
The Last
about.
OG.
What's that?
The Last OG with Tracy Morgan is a TV
Yeah.
show she's on. So Lego Movie is what's next for
Cool.
Tiffany Haddish.
She's got a great voice.
Yeah. Cue up the Scott Joplin. Harry Connick Jr. That was a cue there, Derek. Cue up the Scott Joplin.
Like literally.
Literally.
Didn't you think they'd be singing
There might be.
at this point?
It's a big mouse, though, that's singing.
Harry Connick Jr. is returning to the stage to headline a new musical based on The Sting.
Yeah.
That will tell the story of two grifters. Is that one of your favorite movies?
Yep.
That's a fantastic
It's a
movie.
fantastic movie, and I don't think the wife has seen it yet.
No?
No.
Oh, she should.
And of course she should.
1973 is when that movie came out. It was nominated for 10 Oscars, won 7, including Best Director, Best Actor for Robert Redford. Paul Newman, of course, also part of it, and it featured the music of Scott Joplin. So this will be going to Broadway, starring Harry Connick Jr.
Neat. Have you seen it, Paul?
I have seen the movie, yeah.
The whole thing is a con, really.
Yeah.
When you watch the movie, like very little of what you think is happening is happening.
Spoiler
Pretty
alert.
neat. No, I think they tell you that in advance.
And a potential showdown looms next month between Kathy Griffin and President Donald Trump.
Well, President Trump has nukes.
She says Kathy Griffin will be attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner on April 28th. She could have her first face-to-face moment with the president since that infamous severed head photo hit social media.
Is the Secret Service going to allow that? Like the two of them to be in the same room?
If I'm not mistaken, he didn't go to the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
So who's
You
to
are
say
not
he's
mistaken.
going to this one? They
Right.
may or may not have a showdown.
If she, I hesitate to use this word because of with the context, but if she goes and she talks, she'll die. It'll be a miserable death up there.
I mean, comedic
She's
death.
she's not particularly funny, as in my opinion, as she is mean. And she makes me, and they're going to be in the wrong mood for that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if her attending means she's taking part.
Right.
You know, there
My
is
understanding is she was just invited as a guest of
Right.
someone
By
else.
who? How does she even get tickets? Who is she? Does she have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? I don't know.
Does
is she a
she?
funny redhead? No.
Wow, if she did, though, I mean,
I'm gonna
she
go,
might, I don't know.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get a facsimile of her head, chop it off, and stand on her star.
Well, there is an LGBT news outlet called The Blade. They have a Washington version and a Los Angeles version, and they are the ones who have extended an invitation to her. But I have not heard anything about the Correspondents' Dinner this year on whether or not he would attend. I'm going to put money on no.
So I guess enough time has passed for her act used to be essentially outing people. You know, just talk about this guy, this star, and this star. And Tom Cruise was a big one. But whether your feelings are on that or not, I don't know that you have the right to out folks. And Ellen DeGeneres, as far as I know, will still not have her on because she outs people.
And Kevin Smith, we talked about him, was about a week ago when we found out he had a massive heart attack.
He has a massive heart.
Well, he said he realized he needs to lose some weight. So he decided to go on the same diet that Penn Jillette went on.
Yeah. Well, it worked well for Penn.
Yeah.
It did, but it's one of those weird diets. It's eat one food like crazy pants, and then you are allowed to slowly introduce some other foods into your diet.
Is that one food Hot Pockets? Because I could totally do that, I think.
You think you could do it. I've tried a one food diet before. I went with pasta, which actually had like a couple of ingredients because I got sauce and cheese.
Yeah.
By like noon the next day, I was going, please don't make me eat this.
Penn Jillette lost more than 100 pounds using the so-called mono diet. The plan starts with 2 weeks of plain potatoes and nothing else.
Right.
So you don't even choose your one food. It's
Wow.
potatoes.
My wife's at home going, oh my God.
Because you're going to start this next
Well, I
week.
got to be, because I live on 3010, I got to be very careful about what part of that diet. So potatoes are out, I think.
Right, yeah.
Well, then you get to introduce vegetables and eventually fruit and nuts. He has already lost 20 pounds in 13 days.
Wow.
He said he knows he needs to make changes. He needs to lose 50 pounds, and he is now 20 down already on potatoes.
I got to tell you, as a man who lives and dies on diets, if he drops his whole 50 that fast, I promise you will see 55 back on him.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound very healthy. Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Spring training. Yesterday, the Mariners beat the Padres
Yay.
by a score of 11-7.
Look at that.
Woo-hoo. And they're off today. Tomorrow, it is the Rockies with a 12:10 start time. We do have the season opener Thursday, Safeco Field with a 7:10 start time. This year, baseball is doing something totally different. Every single team is starting on Thursday.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing. It used to be that the World Series winners would have a rematch, or at least a playoff game would have a rematch. It's usually Sunday. They're like, nope, everybody's playing on Thursday.
Well, they're trying to do a lot of things to perk up baseball, I think. And that's obviously one of them.
Smart. Okay, coming up at 7:20, we are going to play a new game that's sweeping the nation. Pick the Flick.
Pick the flick.
This is your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Mariners on opening weekend at Safeco Field. This game, you'll just have to name the baseball flick from Danny's Clue, and you'll be headed to the game on Saturday, which just happens to be Robinson Cano Bobblehead Day.
Robinson Cano Bobblehead Day.
Is that what I sound like? 7:20, be here for that.
Awesome.
And left-hander Wade LeBlanc has rejoined the Mariners 2 days after he asked for his release from the New York Yankees. He played with the Mariners. We traded him to the Pirates. He then went to the Yankees and said, meh,
Meh.
I'd like to go back to Seattle. Welcome back.
So
Wade
was he
LeBlanc.
part of our 11-6 victory?
No, he just rejoined the Mariners, so he will probably see some action in tomorrow's game against the Rockies.
He'll be part of future victories.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Seahawks added much-needed depth on their defensive line by signing veteran defensive tackle Tom Johnson. They also brought back defensive end Marcus Smith. Welcome to town. Also in sports, the Seattle Thunderbirds and the Everett Silvertips are tied at 1 game apiece in the first round of the WHL playoffs. We have got a pair of tickets for you to be on hand as these rivals battle it out Friday night at the Acesso Showwear Center. We've got tickets to that too.
Yay. Wow.
Look at us go.
Look at us go.
That will happen before the show is over today.
It's always exciting when you meet like one of your biggest rivals in the playoffs. So
Yep.
fun times going out to see that hockey.
And it's such a great place to see hockey too, because everyone gets super into it, and it's not a huge arena, so you're like close to the ice, and it's super exciting. Friday night. Well, over the weekend, there was a lot of basketball action.
Uh-oh.
And there is a Cinderella story. Loyola Chicago won again. They took down Kansas State with a 16-point victory.
I know you're beating the Kansas team.
I don't know. I don't know how I picked.
You had him. I think you had him to win that game.
I
too,
did?
didn't you?
You had Loyola, which blew my mind.
Yeah.
Andy.
No, you're like one of the only people in the country who had him going that far.
Because
He's
I'm a
not
genius.
joking. He is not joking. So few people
Do you
took,
see me laughing?
Loyola.
He's not joking.
according to Vegas, there are hardly anybody who are documented to have taken it. Let's see. There is one person, 300 to 1 odds to win it all. Let's see. So we had 32 bets on the Ramblers at that price. The biggest wager was $150, and that will win somebody $45,000.
Who bet this?
Well, they don't disclose the name.
This is in Vegas?
But somebody in
Vegas.
Vegas bet $150 for them to go to the Final Four. Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, some people took to win it all, and
Okay.
even to go
To
to
win
the
it
Final
all,
Four, like nobody did that except Danny Bonaducci.
The question is, how much am I beating Paul by?
All right, so taking a look at our brackets, what happened late yesterday was the game that was going to decide the brackets between the Bonaducci's and the Paul and the Jelly Bean bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Duke versus Kansas.
Duke versus Kansas. Paul had Kansas going all the way.
Right.
We went to overtime.
Went to OT.
It was tense.
Fantastic
I was on the edge of my
game.
seat.
You don't need the rest of it.
Kansas beat Duke.
Is that good or bad?
That is bad for you,
It's good
Danny.
for me.
Oh, that's bad for me.
Danny and Amy both had Duke winning it all.
Duke, oh.
Well, taking a look at the brackets right now.
Yeah.
In first place, Paul and Jelly Bean.
No, I can't have it.
We skyrocketed up. We were fourth to
Yeah.
last, and now
Yep.
we're first place.
In second place, Sarah's husband, Matt. In third.
He was also not doing so hot until yesterday.
Exactly. In third place, we have got Scott Vanderpool.
Scott Vanderpool.
In fourth place,
When are you going to start saying some Bonaducci's?
Yeah.
Tori. In last place,
How did this happen?
Amy Bonaducci.
Oh, my gosh.
no.
She was leading on
She was.
Friday.
Yeah.
She was.
Duke killed your wife.
I'm leaving her.
Because Duke was their national champ. So
Yes.
and we're looking at like potential points throughout the rest of the bracket.
Yep. So Amy can only get 50 points, whereas Paul and Jellybean can get 104.
Oh, that's more than 50.
It is. That's
Significantly,
I like
yeah.
the way you did math there. They should give me points for that.
Paul went out a limb. They're taking
And
Kansas.
so I'm just out.
You're not out. You're
I mean,
just
if
losing right
Kansas
now.
if Kansas loses their next game, does that flip completely around and I'm
It
back
could.
on the bottom and they're back on the top?
It could indeed, Paul.
Let's go Kansas.
Because Danny, you're still right middle of the pack at 72 points, as opposed to me, for example, I have 60.
Well, I didn't hear my name on that list from worst to first, so I'm assuming I'm below worst.
All right, 1, 2, 3. You're tied for fourth place.
No.
You and Tori are tied for fourth place with 72 points.
All right, Tori.
All right, Paul. Paul edged you out there, man, and the
God,
prize
I
is a
love
star of the
Kansas.
Hollywood
I
Walk
know
of
you did.
Fame.
That is why I picked went against Kansas, because I thought, well, Paul will have him.
Right.
That was your sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Let's discuss 1-800-DUI.
Let's do that.
Shall we?
Please do.
1-800-DUI. Washington have real tough laws. You need a lawyer. Call 1-800-DUI. They will fight hard for their clients, and they'll meet you free of charge in Seattle, Everett, and or Tacoma. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you do get a DUI, do not delay. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
And don't go anywhere because we've got another shot for your money for nothing all day long on KZOK. You are listening each hour for the new keyword. You text that word to 200-200 for your chance to win money for nothing. And your next chance is 710.
This traffic report is brought to you by the UPS Store in Puyallup on 512 eastbound. As you make your way near Pioneer Way, we're seeing some stop and go traffic, about a 15-minute delay. Other than that, most of your roadways are looking pretty clear this morning. With the UPS Store shredding services powered by Iron Mountain, you can have confidence knowing your private information is staying private. Visit theupsstore.com today to find one of 90 locally owned Western Washington store locations in your neighborhood. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Danny's always talking about playing the real estate game. A lot of us have been tracking the real estate market. I'm always on Redfin and Trulia, Zillow, looking around at what's out there. But it's not just about looking. It is time to do something about it. It is time to get into the market, invest in your future. It's time to talk to my friends at American Financing. They're the ones who are going to help you get the mortgage that is right for you. That's because they're salary based. They're the mortgage experts. They're going to help you figure out the loan because there are a lot of different loan options for you. They will walk you through all of it. American Financing. They're a family-owned company, and they know how important being a homeowner can be for your future. They can save you money, and they can help you get yourself into this housing market. It is time to invest in your future. American Financing. No upfront fees. That's huge. You can reach out to American Financing by calling 206-204-3200 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334.
Hey, let's see. It's 7:20 this morning. We're playing a new game. We try and work them in every single weekday morning. This one is called Pick the Flick. Pick the right flick, and you are going to see the Mariners on opening weekend at Safeco Field. Right now, it is 7:03.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of baseball, we were just talking about Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah.
Big baseball player, all-star baseball player. He has been playing for years. He has played for the Detroit Tigers for years.
Yeah.
And he just disclosed that he cannot remember his teammates' names. None of them,
Is that like, should he have some concussion protocol?
right?
You'd think
It
so.
They don't,
yeah.
they don't
seems
get
crazy.
hit. They don't get hit that much. Why can't he remember their name?
Well, and
Zuh.
I don't get it because a lot of these players he's played with for a long time. Like Justin Verlander was his pitcher for a really long time.
Yeah.
Torrey Hunter. How many dudes are named Torrey with two eyes?
Very few.
He can't remember any, and maybe it's a language barrier, but a lot of his teammates are also Spanish speaking. So I don't know what the reason is.
I don't know what it is, but to be honest with you, I understand his plight. I mean, you guys even mock me a little bit for my inability to remember names. I just can't do it. I can remember occupations, husbands' names, wives' names, kids' names, all. Well, maybe
I'm
not any,
Sarah.
but thank you. All of those things like that. But I don't know all our bosses' names by a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I just got that Robert in the corner office isn't rich. I just got that. But I wasn't sure, so I never called him anything. I don't know that I called him bro. I call them all, and you probably heard me do it. I call him boss.
Yeah,
What's up,
hey,
boss?
boss. Yeah.
It's polite. It indicates I know I work for you, but everybody from the captain on up, hey, boss, how you doing? Nice to see you, boss.
Yeah. Well, that's smart because Miguel Cabrera is calling everybody bro. And he could call them boss, but that'd be weird.
Right.
So at least in your case, calling them boss is also respectful as opposed
Right.
to calling them bro.
I mean, it is a thing. It's a slang thing as well to call people. It's as close to dude as it is probably to actual employer. But if you're saying it to an employer, hey, boss, nice to see you. He knows I know that I work for him.
Yes. But in a way, too, you wonder, like, did you just get busted for not knowing their name? If you saw Rich, say they're walking down the hall.
I'm still not sure which one Rich is.
Rich, Robert, and the captain are all walking down the hall.
Right.
Do you
Hey,
say,
boss, and boss.
hey, bosses?
No, I say sup, and I'm not taking the chance. And currently, it's only with Richard, who turns out not to be Robert.
No, and he's Rich, not Richard.
See? Well, they're all rich.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is, Danny, you have not actually gotten busted by not remembering their names until now because Rich is listening in his car.
Yeah, but when you hear something come out of your radio speakers, you think, man, Bondici's a genius. He's going right with this, pretending he
just
doesn't know my
entertainment.
name
Yeah.
when I sign his checks.
Right.
Little chubby bastard. That's what he calls me. It's a
Yeah.
nickname, yeah. Little
Well,
chubby
you guys
bastard.
listening, what have you forgotten? Did you get busted? Because Danny just busted himself. What have you forgotten? And did you get caught? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025 or text 90627 now.
Well, showing you don't have to have too many different kinds of credentials to be a great baseball player. Miguel Cabrera cannot remember the names of his longtime teammates. So the question to you, friends, is what have you forgotten and did you get busted? 1-800-252-1025.
Let's hear from Drew in Tacoma.
Hey, Drew.
Morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people? What's up?
So, I'm an adult. My wife and I bought a house. We bought a car and everything like that. But I for some reason cannot ever remember my social security number.
Oh, funny.
I don't. Is that like that big of a deal that he can't remember?
Yeah.
Is
I
it?
know
I get
mine.
asked that all the time now.
I know mine, but there's reasons I know mine. There's a movie now. It's from like the 50s, and it's about this guy, and he's super smart, and he goes on this game show, and he just wins and wins and wins and wins. And I don't remember exactly if it's cheating or not at the end, but at the end of the movie, he's at the Hollywood Bowl on stage in front of 20,000 people because he's become a hero. And they say, all right, here's your last question for $1 million. What is your social security number? No, I won't tell you if he remembers it or not because it's a spoiler alert. But that's the question for $1 million. So it's not, I don't think it's the end of the world there, Drew.
Well, nowadays, it's because we live in such a digital age, it's a very important piece
Right.
of your security puzzle. So you are supposed to know it.
The reason I've always known mine from the time I was 4. I don't know how old you have to be. When you go to auditions, there's a little sheet of paper called the sign-in sheet, and it's your name, time you were supposed to be there, time you actually got there, your social security number, your agent, and what part you're there for.
Jeez.
So, and that's just left out in public. I guess they would never do that
Not
today,
anymore.
right?
No way. Well, there was a huge story we talked about on Friday of a woman whose husband forgot their anniversary.
Right.
She went crazy pants and beat him up
Yeah.
because it was Florida, and that's what you do in
I
Florida.
don't know if she should have beat him up, but you should remember your wife's birthday. There should be
Anniversary. It was the wedding anniversary.
Same
There
thing.
should be ways to remember that. Like mine is the anniversary of Blackbeard's death.
Well,
That's-
whatever it takes to help you remember, my
That's how I
friend.
remember, and I always get her a gift every time.
What have you forgotten? Did you get busted? That's the question we're asking at 800-252-1025. Good morning, Melissa and Puyallup.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you today?
We're very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got for us?
Good. So, when everybody was doing the big ice bucket challenge a couple years back
Right.
and whatnot, so my husband and I made him do it with me, and so our kids are recording it. Our oldest and his best friend are the ones tossing the ice and whatnot. And I was nominating my best friend. Now, I'm 42. We've been best friends since I was 12. And she got married, and so I'm nominating her. And I was like, so I nominate Danielle. And then I said her maiden name. And then went, oh, and then her last name. And there was this big pause because I totally forgot what her last name was, married. So she had already been married for like 6 years.
Oh,
But you blank on stuff. I wish I'd have blanked on this. Amy and I were landing into some weird country, and when they hand that form to you that you have to fill out,
Yeah.
I don't touch it. If I touch it at all, it's to hand it to Amy. I don't want to fill it out. It's not my job to fill it out. You fill it out. I don't know why I took control that day, but it needed the full name of my spouse.
Yeah.
Which was, of course, Amy Renee Railsback. I wrote that in. It's official form. She has a little sticker they gave her. Oh, you have to have that piece of paper with you in case you didn't give them. Turns out her written name's not Renee.
oh.
And isn't her last name Bonaducci?
Yeah, but the
What's her
big part of
middle
that,
name?
the big part of that is her middle name's, I believe, Marie. Of course it is.
Wow.
Thanks for asking. But here's what makes that worse than me just stupid. That's my ex-wife's middle name.
Oh,
But this is
Oops.
really a long time ago. No, by the way, her name was not Bonaducci.
Oh, you weren't married yet?
No, we were not.
gotcha. I was asked pretty recently how old I was.
We forget too.
Totally had no idea. I had no idea.
I always blank on that, and I have to actually do the math. to
Your
figure out.
age or her age?
My own. I don't know her.
I
age.
have been
She's
29 so
right?
long,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how old I am.
Well, you're
And-
29 then.
I'm 29. But when it's like the doctor asking, you probably want to tell the truth.
And you should know that immediately too. That's the weird part. Is
By the
people
way,
look
this
at you.
is
I like that. And so I said, okay, I'll live under the name Mrs. Ball. And so all year long, I let him call me that. And I thought, oh, how I was getting away with something. And 2 weeks before school ended, he got a clue. And he said, how can you let me call you Mrs. Ball all year long? I said, I liked it. And he looked at me like, okay. And he let me do it. The rest of the
Okay,
year.
that's super weird.
Were you a grown up at this school?
Yes, I
Oh.
was a grown up. I don't know why. I just liked it.
That's Lance Armstrong's nickname.
And why were you a grown up at the school? Please tell me you were a teacher, right?
No, my daughter's principal.
Oh, so you just you weren't there every day.
Every now and
No,
again.
no.
Hi, Mrs.
okay.
Ball. Nice
Yeah.
to see you.
All right, that's not that bad.
Said the same thing to Lucille.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul, what have you forgotten and did you get busted?
On Saturday, I was out with the wife and kid, and we were having some adventures and goofing off. And just out of habit, I texted my mom just some pictures of us goofing around, having a good time. And I forgot that at that moment in time, she was in California at a funeral.
Whoops.
So it's like the middle of the eulogy, and she's getting like pictures of us making wacky faces and stuff. So,
Eating chili dogs.
sorry about that, Mom. Yeah. Hey, lady at a funeral. Look at me eating a chili dog.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe turn the phone off at the funeral. That's a hard lesson that I've had to learn.
Tori, have you forgotten something and did you get busted?
When I was really, really little, I was doing a dance recital. It was a ballet recital. And I forgot the dance moves, so I started improvising. And I think I was just spinning around in circles many times.
Oh.
Like you were at a Grateful Dead concert.
There's like one
I forgot the
kid-
Macarena one time. Does that count?
No.
Oh, okay then.
Derek, how about you?
I did school plays back in high school, and I was a star of many productions
Many.
of the theater. And during one of those productions, I forgot my lines on stage, so I tried to just make it up and just skip ahead in the script. And this snobby girl who thought she was the best actress in the world decided to call me out in front of everyone and go, "That's not your line."
Oh.
Wow.
You can't break
Yeah.
character like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just walked off the stage.
At David Cassidy's memorial that I attended, they showed some outtakes of the Partridge Family, and one of me was yelling. That was me yelling that at adults.
Oh.
Either that's not your line or that's my line. When I did it, really embarrassed. They thought it was funny. I did not think it was that funny.
Hey, it's time to play the new game that's sweeping the nation. Pick the Flick.
Pick the flick.
It's your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Mariners on opening weekend at Safeco Field. If you want to play the new game, call us right now, 800-252-1025. We are playing Pick the Flick for your chance to get a pair of tickets to see the Mariners on opening weekend at Safeco Field. The way this game works, you are just going to have to name the baseball movie from Danny's Clue.
Yay.
You get it right, and you are headed to the game Saturday afternoon, which just happens to be Robinson Cano Bobblehead Day.
Robinson Cano,
No,
what are you
bobblehead
doing
day.
to me,
I'm
man?
with you, man.
We're a team, Paul.
I know.
Would you please say that again?
Robinson Cano Bobblehead Day.
Robinson Cano Bobblehead
Now
Day.
you know how I feel. All
You
right.
feel
Our
fantastic.
contestant is Wade in Granite Falls.
Wade was with us, man.
Right on, Wade.
Hi, Wade.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's all going great. Let me answer this question there, Wade. It's important. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Most of the time.
Oh, right then. Do you understand the rules to the game?
Yes, I do.
All right, then let's get started, shall we? Pick the baseball flick that starred American treasure Kevin Costner. Now, okay, there's a bunch of them, so I'm going to narrow it down for you. This flick starred Kevin Costner as a veteran minor league catcher who gets caught up in a love triangle with Tim Robbins, a loose cannon pitcher who's been called down to mentor, and Susan Sarandon, the team groupie who's looking to score with the new player every season. Can you pick the flick?
Bull Durham.
Boulder
Yeah.
is correct, sir.
Nice
Way to go, Wade.
job,
Nice.
Wade. You're going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick
I
up
love
your
when they
tickets.
woohoo.
Eyes of woohoo's got to go. Right on, buddy.
And that is the Mariners, the Indians, Saturday, 1:10 at Safeco Field. The rest of you can join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another exciting round of Pick the Flick. But coming up next, the big news of the day.
This traffic report is brought to you by Amtrak. In Bellevue on State Route 520 westbound as you approach 124th Avenue, we do have an incident blocking the carpool lane, and you're going to see some slow traffic on 512 eastbound in Puyallup as you make your way between 94th Avenue and South Meridian. Hurry and save 33% with Amtrak when you book now through March 29th for their lowest prices of the season. Amtrak doesn't believe in traffic, but they do believe in comfort and savings. Book now at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Monday morning, for some people, it can be so hard to get out of bed. You're tired, you didn't get enough sleep, you're cranky. Well, not for me, because I sleep with My Pillow. My Pillow will afford you the best night's sleep. You are going to wake up feeling refreshed. I feel fantastic today. I wasn't even sure it was Monday because I feel so good. My Pillow, you are going to love it. They guarantee it. That's right. There is a money back guarantee. So why haven't you gotten one yet? You'll fall asleep faster. You will stay asleep. You're going to get a good night's sleep with My Pillow. Plus, you're going to like the deal. The 4-pack special. 2 classic My Pillow, 2 go anywhere My Pillow, 50% off if you use the promo code KZOK. That's right, 50% off. Call them 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756. Don't forget the promo code KZOK. This is a product that is made in America. You can throw it in the washer and dryer and you will get a better night's sleep. MyPillow.com. That's MyPillow.com with the promo code KZOK.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Right now in Seattle, it's 42 and cloudy. Today, it'll be rainy, with a forecasted high of 48 and a low of 46.
Thanks, Google. Tonight's looking pretty damp and cold. We're going to get lows around 45. The rain's going to continue into Tuesday, where we're going to see cloudy skies and a high of 51. This report is brought to you by Google Assistant. It's your personal Google Assistant, and it's always ready to help. With over 1 million actions, it works across all of your devices like Google Home, your phone, and more. Google Assistant is ready for you whenever and wherever you need. Download it today and discover what your Google Assistant can do for you. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Stay with us because coming right up, it's the big news of the day.
Some of the stories we'll be talking about. The world's most crowded city is even worse than you may have thought. It also has the world's worst job. A huge announcement from Craigslist. They're about to make some big changes. And Red Lobster announced they're doing something pretty amazing.
Yay.
Next.
And the big news of the day is brought to you, as always, by our good pals at Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
We are getting some information about the world's most crowded city.
All right.
Now, in America, the most crowded city is New York.
Right.
27,000 people per square mile.
Yeah, what is it, like 25 million or something like that in one city? Because it goes back and forth with the world's most crowded, although I'm guessing this city is new to me.
This is per square mile, so 27,000 people per square mile. Dhaka, Bangladesh is the planet's densest city at 115,000 people per square mile.
Wow.
So New York City is 27K.
So it's 4 times as crowded as New York City.
115,000 people per square mile.
So how many people in the city itself?
That I don't know. But what they are saying is not only is it the world's most crowded city, but it is home to the world's worst job.
Oh, scrubbing the lepers.
It's a sewage problem.
Yeah, those lepers get caught in the pipes. They're huge.
Derek, how many people live in Dhaka, Bangladesh? Dhaka.
14.4 million people.
So in real life, it's not that even that big of a city. It's just matter of fact that it's got small square mileage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Tokyo's more, New York, I believe, is more.
But this is the most people per square mile.
Right.
So the densest city is Dhaka, Bangladesh, and because there are so many people in such a small place, the sewage problem that gets exacerbated during monsoon season.
Yeah, especially during Montezuma's revenge.
Ugh, they said the sewer lines are rotted, they are growth. 100% of the cleaners have health problems, including skin problems.
Yeah, leprosy. Told ya.
Yeah, you were right, Danny.
They use bamboo sticks to unclog manholes.
That's got to hurt a little bit. Having your manhole
And you'd think
cleared.
that wouldn't help the problem
Yeah,
either.
you'd
That's just
think
going to
you'd-
give you more of it.
You'd think you'd stop doing that, yeah.
Yeah, so The Guardian had an article saying this is the most dense city in the world and home to the worst job, which is sewer cleaner.
Wow.
So, Danny, you don't play the real estate game in Dhaka, Bangladesh?
Oh, I'll tell you right now, if I was, and for any reason, going to Bangladesh, or even if it came up in conversation like this one, I'd probably know by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just play. I don't have to buy there. But if I'm also a winner at Scrub the Leper. I came in like third.
We have talked a couple times about Mad Mike Hughes.
Yeah, crazy Mad Mike Hughes.
Yeah, Mad Mike.
Oh, he's crazy.
Mikey, the madman.
This is the guy who is a
Madster.
self-taught rocket scientist.
Oh, yeah,
that
okay,
guy.
we know him.
He believes the Earth is flat. We've talked about him because he keeps telling us that he is going to propel himself into space and prove that the Earth is flat. But every time he tries to do it,
Yeah.
either NASA shuts him down, the FAA shuts him down, or the last time his rocket actually didn't ignite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this time,
Although, yeah, by the way, he's also, okay, I happen to find him stupid and crazy, but he also has no balls, to be honest with you.
What do you mean?
Well, who registers your rocket flight if you're going to be some crazy Earth is flat bandit?
do you want to be shot down?
His rocket gets like 8 feet.
It actually got 200 miles.
What?
No, it's 200 miles out of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's all right.
He went 1,875 feet.
So a little further than I can throw a rock.
I'm going to guess you can't throw a rock 1,875
I said a little further. I said a little further.
Like 1,800 feet further than you can throw
But I
a
mean,
rock.
it's nothing. Why is he doing all this personal event? Why can't he get on a plane? Buy a ticket.
Because that wouldn't get any press, would it? He is a rocket scientist who is now able to rocket himself into space, which he did over the weekend.
When you say he's a rocket scientist, do you mean because he built that thing?
He built
He's
a rocket.
And he's a self-taught, he's a homeschooled rocket
Right.
scientist.
But he doesn't have a PhD in rocketry, does he?
Oh, heck no. Then you wouldn't be self-taught. If you have a PhD, then someone else has taught you.
Well, that was my point exactly. When we're talking about, you said he was a rocket scientist.
Self-taught rocket scientist.
This time, though, it was like an actual real-looking rocket. 'cause
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
past, he's had like a Volkswagen bus, and he called it a rocket.
Right.
But
Well,
this
we're
time,
waiting.
it looked real.
We're waiting to find out what happened to him after the fact because he was taken away in an ambulance.
Yeah, he had a minorly bumpy landing. He had two parachutes connected to that thing. And they don't look like big enough parachutes to me. I'm looking at him going, I think he's going too fast. And sure enough, they take him away in an ambulance.
Yep, he's 61 years old, and it was a rocket.
Yeah,
so
it
if he
looked
wants
like a
to call
rocket.
himself a rocket scientist, Self-taught rocket scientist he is.
I was going to say it looks every inch as much as a rocket as the one Evel Knievel used to jump Snake River Canyon. And he didn't get as far. This crazy guy got further than Evel Knievel.
But I don't understand how going up almost 2,000 feet into the air proves that the Earth is flat.
It does, doesn't it? That's why I said, why not get on a plane?
Because the government controls the planes, and of course you're going to see the curvature of the Earth because they project images
I saw
onto
a guy,
the window.
I don't know if he was on what that guy's name is, Bill Maher. Saw a flat earther talking to Bill Maher, and you're just going, this guy sounds right. How is this possible? And then luckily, Bill Maher sounds less crazy than that guy and kicked his butt.
Craigslist will be shutting down its personals section. If you had a missed encounter or you want to find someone to hook up with, you will have to go elsewhere because the Senate has approved a bipartisan legislation called the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act. It is now awaiting Donald Trump's signature, and it will create what they think is a harder avenue for sex traffickers, that those evil people are using websites like Backpage or Craigslist to post what will be sex trafficking.
Now, does anybody remember what the Craigslist killer was posing as?
As a person just wanting to hook up.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I've also seen, I don't know if it was the Craigslist killer who did this, but people selling jewelry. And then there was a killer who was doing that.
I think you got to ban that.
Pretending to sell diamonds.
If we're going to ban arbitrarily ban activities, I think we should. Because, I think, as you know, I think selling and buying sex should be legal. It's everybody's own private matter.
Yeah.
I think shutting down everybody's ability to do that, then you should shut down. A lot more people have been killed selling jewelry. I think the Craigslist killer was asked for a masseuse or something. I'm not positive what he asked for. By the way, he killed her dead. I think it's unfair.
Right, but this is about sex trafficking. This is about people being held captive or underage sex workers.
All very, very bad.
But they're taking away all of the singles or the section where people were trying to meet
and the
each
part
other.
where you walked past me in a nightclub one night. You were wearing blue. I was wearing gray.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That thing's going to-
Misconnections.
All gone.
All gone.
All gone.
It's crazy.
What was the world coming to?
We are getting some more information about that Chinese space station that may be plummeting towards Earth.
Towards my head.
It's targeting Paul.
Well, this is the 9.4-ton Chinese space station that will likely be plummeting to Earth on
Me.
April 1st.
Oh, really?
Crazy bunch of stuff happening on that day this time around.
Yeah, is it a big April Fool's joke then?
It is not. It is Easter. It is April Fool's Day, and they believe that the Heavenly Palace, Tianyong-1, will crash through to Earth.
Oh, wouldn't it be funny if somebody just dropped fortune cookies on everybody's head? It's an April Fool's.
Now, throughout
I think
all
it
of
would
our
be.
years of
That would be
space
funny.
Yeah.
exploration,
Yeah.
only one person, Lottie Williams, has ever recorded being struck by spacecraft debris.
She looked up at the sky and said, "Thanks a lottie." 'Cause that's what she says when stuff happens to her.
We've had debris fall, but only one person has been struck. And Lottie Williams was struck in 1996 in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Is she dead?
Nope.
Then I don't
Nope.
believe her.
She's totally fine. She got injured, but not seriously. It was a shoulder injury when something flew out of the sky and whacked her on the shoulder.
It was a space station or something, wasn't it?
It was a piece of space debris.
Yeah, I don't believe her.
Now, here's where they're thinking. Northern California, it can go across a strip. So imagine Northern California and then a direct line to Pennsylvania.
Oh.
They said the chances of you getting struck are 1,000,000 times smaller than the chances of winning the Powerball lottery.
What the
so
guy
don't
said on the
worry.
news this morning was, if you were lucky enough to win the Powerball lottery and then win it 1,000 times in a row, you're still less likely to get hit by this thing. So I don't know who's calculating that guy's odds, but I like them.
Everybody knows that chicken and waffles are delightful.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I had some over the weekend.
Did you really?
I did. They were yummy.
Well, Red Lobster
Oh, man, come on.
are going to take it up a notch, getting into the chicken and waffles business, kind of.
Kind of.
Now, Red Lobster is known for what?
Lobster.
Or
and
redness.
seafood. They're not known for
Yeah, right.
fried chicken.
Right.
They are going to
Oh, and those
have-
cheddar biscuits too.
Oh, those are so
Yum.
good. Right now, I don't know if it's already up because it was Lobster Fest, and they have lobster mac and cheese.
This is going to be their take on chicken and waffles just in time for Lobster Fest, which starts today. lobster, and waffles, but the waffles are going to be made with the cheddar biscuit recipe.
Oh, wow. This is like perfection.
Yeah.
So they're going to take the cheddar biscuit mix,
Yeah, make a waffle.
make a waffle out of it,
Yum.
and then they top it with the lobster and then drizzle it with maple syrup.
Oh, not enough drizzling going on, if you ask me. There is a Red Lobster in Federal Way, right, like in the parking lot with Hoppa Dave.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he eats a lot of
He does
chicken and
not.
waffles, in
No.
my humble opinion. So this starts today. It'll cost around $20, and it will be limited time only for Lobster Fest. Let's go after the show.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
good.
Go hang out with Hoppa Dave and Federal Way. That's the big news of the day, and it is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online, goldbergjones.com.
Hey, coming right up, so don't go anywhere. It's Business News with Jim the Flagger.
business news from Jim the Flagger.
The House and Senate passed a $1.3 trillion spending bill, which includes a provision that prevents employers from taking workers' tips. The bill stipulates that employers who violate this rule would have to repay the employees and could face further civil penalties. This is great news for Derek. It means every one of those dollar bills will stay exactly where he put them. In the G-string of Crystal or Chloe or Cinnamon or whatever the hell her name was that night.
Thank you. That's business news.
This traffic report is brought to you by Amtrak. In Bellevue on 520 westbound as you approach 124th Avenue, you are going to see some stop and go traffic, about a 10-minute delay. Also some slow traffic in Puyallup on 512 eastbound as you make your way between 94th Avenue and South Meridian. Hurry and save 33% with Amtrak when you book now through March 29th for their lowest prices of the season. Amtrak doesn't believe in traffic, but they do believe in comfort and savings. Book now at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
I am looking at 3 minutes after 8, and I got some other updates for you for the iHeartRadio app, which is already super cool. It's all your favorite music, all your favorite stations, and it's all free. The new way to listen is with your smart speakers like Amazon Alexa or Google Home. Man, they're taking over the world. Dig this. Just say, Alexa, play KZOK on iHeartRadio, or tell your Google Assistant, okay, Google, play 102.5 KZOK on iHeartRadio. It's all cool. It's all going to happen. And don't forget, set your Alexa or your Google Home alarms to wake up with KZOK. Woo!
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Woo!
disclosed that he loves banana mayonnaise sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is there any chance he's lying?
No.
No?
Nope. Because he's got his technique down and everything. It's not like he said it's more like butter. It's not like a thick layer like peanut butter, like a sandwich. It's using the mayonnaise like you would as what do you call it? Accoutrement. What's the word I'm looking for when you
I don't know. You
put
just spoke
mayonnaise on a
French. All
sandwich?
right. You got one?
What's the word?
Mayonnaise, ketchup, condiment. There we go.
Condiment. Thank you.
Although, but I
had to
don't,
name
I
a couple
don't,
before
I
I
don't
remember.
agree, though.
Mayonnaise is not a
It's
condiment.
an ingredient. If you're putting something and something on a sandwich,
Yeah.
it's an ingredient. It's not
But
a
it's
condiment. So if you
like-
put it on the side and dip, maybe a condiment.
It's like if you had a turkey, a ham and Swiss with mustard. Mustard is considered a condiment. Now, the way this sandwich is, he said you just put on the mayonnaise and then you put on the banana and it's awesome. He has been mocked relentlessly because it's gross.
Well, he should be mocked. I mean, I said to Paul, go ahead and give it a try because you already like both things. But having said that, ew.
No.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
But I did feel a little bit bad. Like, all right, fine, we're all mocking Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he continues to be mocked for this. But we did mock you a little bit, Danny, for your knitting hobby that you seem to love so much.
Well, see, these are one of those bad things that happened. I had no idea I was being mocked.
Just a little.
I thought you were saying words in my. I thought you loved me.
I appreciated your knitting, Danny. I
Well,
thought.
thank you. I feel
thought you were.
better.
It was
Until
impressive.
you left the room, Paul.
What were you saying about my knitting, Paul?
I never said one bad thing about your
Why
knitting.
is she
I
saying
think
you
it's
did?
adorable that you knit.
I hate all of you. And I'm okay. Just so you know, I was working on a sweater for you.
I appreciate that. I'm actually surprised that we were mocking your knitting. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
I'm obsessed with knitting, and you should be thankful that you have a sweater not coming to you anymore.
You did seem to mock your wife a little bit, Danny, for her love of needlepoint, that you just didn't get it.
I don't know what she does.
So, I mean, the thought of Danny Bonaducci knitting, though, is not something that most people would expect you to do.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't expect me to do it. I'm a
Not at
knitter.
all.
You know, I made the one crazy 18-foot scarf, and that was enough. I moved along. My wife, and I'm very surprised by this, to be honest with you. It's a little weird, but I kind of dig it, has done a kind of avant-garde, if you want, an artistic version of my face that she needle pointed.
that was super cool.
Well, it's on a pillow now in the middle of my bed, so I get to sleep with me. Dig that. So I love it a lot. But I'll tell you something I will agree with that I've been mocked for a little bit around here.
What's that?
And other places is my diehard, knockdown, drag out love of Hanson.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all things Hanson. And not just bop. Oh, no. There's so much to
Yeah,
more
name
than
another
bop.
song.
It's called Steve's Wish List. It's a song about Steve, and he has a wish list. And it's very exciting. But I've been paid money. This is the last
To go
time
see them.
I've paid money to go to a concert. And it
That's
was
right.
Bop or it was Hanson, and they didn't do it. Like
Well,
it was
you
getting way
left too
past
soon.
I didn't leave too soon. I was 2 hours into a Hanson show, and I had to go home.
Well, Danny has been mocked for his knitting and for his love of Hanson. What have you been mocked for? Have you been mocked for something that you love? Share your story by calling us at 800-252-1025 or text 90627.
All right, well, there's a couple of things. One, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is being mocked because he loves banana and mayonnaise sandwiches. So the question to you is, what have you been mocked for, and is it something that you love? And I would tell you this, growing up in my neighborhood, if your name was Junior, you got mocked relentlessly.
Why?
Really?
Because people called you, I don't know why, the same reason you mock anybody when you're 12. But yeah, if your name was Junior, morning Junior, and things, yeah, we weren't very kind to people named Junior, yeah.
Ken in Seattle, have you been mocked for something that you love?
Good morning, you people.
Hey, what do you mean, you people? What's up, Ken?
Hey, got to start it off right. Hey, I have a fascination for 80s movies, and I'll sit through my all my movie channels and go through the night schedule, and if I see one, I'll record it.
Right.
My wife gives me so much crap for that.
Give me an example of one of your favorite 80s movies.
One of my favorites that I always got to record, Danny, is Hot.
Oh, one of my many wonderful movies.
Nice.
I would have thought for sure you went with Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Got it all the time, but, the unusual movies.
Well, and I got to tell you, Hots, which is one of mine. Would you say Hots or Corvette Summer? Because I've done two movies in my
He
life.
said hot.
Yeah,
I
Hots
watched
is
them both.
a lot of boobies going on in
yeah?
my movies.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got to record that.
Yeah, you do.
Man, I get mocked for what I watch on TV all the time because I love those CW shows, The Vampire Diaries, The Originals, Riverdale, and
The ones that are intended for 12-year-old girls?
they're intended for 18-year-old
12,
girls, I'll have you know.
Yeah, she'll have you know. I watch an awful lot of cartoons. But I mean, the cartoons made for adults.
They're
which
animated.
Which is weird. I have not gotten caught up in The Simpsons even once. I don't think I've
Right.
watched one full episode. But American Dad and Family Guy, are you
Those are
kidding?
hilarious.
Those are hilarious.
Have you been mocked for something that you love? That's the question we're posing at 800-252-1025. You can also text 90627. Penny in Kirkland, good morning.
Morning, Penny.
Hey, hi. How you guys doing?
We're great, thank you. What do you got?
I love collecting heart rocks. So if I ever see any rocks, my kids said, "Oh my God, there goes Mom again digging for rocks, heart rocks." And
So
I
a
have
rock that's
huge
shaped like a
collection of
heart, Penny?
Pardon?
A rock that's shaped like a heart?
Yes, I have a ton of them. And I actually a couple of years ago I had open heart surgery, and the doctor that performed the surgery, I made him a beautiful frame, kind of like 3-dimension, with heart rocks.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Aren't you a lunatic?
Oh, Danny.
You see, I'm with you. I'm down with the heart-shaped rocks. I get that. You've
it's
picked
cool.
a thing, you're going to do a thing. But, handing your doctor something to do with heart rocks because he's going to do surgery on him, he seems to step over some boundaries to me.
The things that you've said to doctors to the douche man.
We've got a couple of texts into 90627. One person says that they love putting peanut butter on their pancakes, and his wife teases him about it.
That's a
They
bit
don't get the
strange.
peanut butter on pancakes.
Never done it, but get immediately why that's good.
Yeah, I've had peanut butter on toast.
Absolutely.
Delicious.
What I would do is I'd make 2 pancakes. I hope they were still steaming hot. And I'd separate them. I'd smear bottom pancake with peanut butter. Put the top back on like a sandwich.
Like a peanut butter sandwich on your pancakes.
That's good. Who's that guy?
I'm not sure. I don't have a name here, but another listener, much like you, Danny, loves Nickelback. And mock relentlessly.
Relentlessly.
And
They're
should
a
be.
wonderful band.
Let's hear from Crazy Mary in Shoreline.
Hey, Crazy Mary, how the hell are you?
Hey, I'm crazy. How you guys?
We're very well. I hope all is well with you. What do you got for what? Who mocks you and for what?
Oh, God, I get mocked all the time because I love the Cleveland Indians because I'm from Cleveland. And they've been, I've loved them when they were bad. I loved them when they were good. I loved them when they were almost good.
Well, see, that's the thing, Mary. You're a real fan. You
Yes.
should not only love them when they're good. And, so I am down. I think that is great. And please don't get mad at me when I tell you this. Until recently, I thought they were a fake team.
That it was just in the movies?
Yeah, I didn't think they were a real team. Bob Uecker was in it, for God's sakes. How can that be a real team? I didn't even know.
Charlie Sheen, right?
But yeah. But now I know, and they're awesome, Crazy Mary. Thank
Crazy
you.
Mary, I actually did my baseball draft yesterday for fantasy baseball, and I signed Carlos Carrasco as my first player.
Oh, not Carrasco.
He's a pitcher for the Cleveland
Yeah.
Indians. I actually went out of my way to sign a Cleveland Indian for the first time in my life.
I'm sure you'll do fine.
And Mary, keep listening because you'll have your chance to win tickets to the opening series, which is against the Indians.
Cleveland Indians.
Oh, dig that.
That's right. The series starts on Thursday, and it's opening weekend. We're giving you guys a chance to win tickets when?
Every day, 7:20.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Let's talk to Christy in Tacoma. What have you been mocked for?
Hiya, Christy.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're all very good, thank you.
Good. So I've watched Jurassic Park over 100 times, and I've been mocked for being able to quote the entire thing.
You know,
Jurassic Park. Wow.
I would not say, I would not say anything against you, but I don't completely get it yet. I can do every single line of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and I've seen that well over 100 times. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you.
I was just clicking around the other day, put Spaceballs on, and it's hilarious. Matt started quoting every single solitary line.
Which movie?
Spaceballs.
Baseball. Oh yeah,
It's a great movie.
Baseball.
I was a little
The
disturbed.
force is strong with this one. That's actual Star Wars, but I can.
We're getting a lot of text into 90627. Somebody loves spam and gets mocked for that.
Yep.
This person loves drinking pickle juice, which we talked about those new pickle slushes.
Yeah, and
at
you guys
Sonic.
thought I was crazy.
It
Do you
sounds
know,
crazy.
I just drank 4 ounces straight of pickle juice the day before yesterday.
Really?
It's supposed to
Why?
be good for you.
Because that's what that's what Amy said, and it was the bottom of a pickle jar, and it didn't look like that much juice, so I poured it into a cup that happened to have ounces margin. It was 4 ounces straight, and I chugged it, and I thought I was going to be sick all day.
Well, a lot
I
of
wasn't.
Should
athletes
be.
I
drink it,
wasn't.
but it's smaller portions.
You know, some athletes drink stuff that comes out of them. That's wrong, too.
What
Paul?
about salt on your cantaloupe? Steve in Aberdeen
No.
puts salt on his
No.
cantaloupe.
Nope, you're wrong. That's why you're wrong, is because you're wrong.
Paul, have you been mocked for something you love?
I love baths. I love to take baths, and
That's super weird.
especially
disagree.
as a 37-year-old man, apparently that's a odd thing to do. But we only have one bathtub in our house, and it's in Jelly Bean's bathroom, and everything's kind of smallish, and the bathtub itself is tiny, and so
That's got to be worth seeing.
I barely fit in this thing,
If
so I'm
somebody
sure I look
greased the sides
stupid.
of the tub, we got to get Dad out.
But I still love my baths.
When you first said it, I thought you said I love bats.
No,
I
baths.
thought the same thing, actually.
And then I realized, no, that person that's weird is Tori. Tori, what have you been mocked for that you love other than
Everything
weird
in her
pets?
life.
I was just going to say my eyelashes, my leggings, my hair, my makeup, but also
Your butt.
Yeah, my butt.
Yeah.
Not a lot to make fun of there.
Oh,
Wow.
but, okay. So I was going to say progressive rock because it's kind of music for old men anyways.
Yep.
People don't expect it, so you either think it's really cool or you're like, what is wrong with you?
So when you go to a Yes concert, are you the only person under 50?
I am, and you know what? The last time I went to a Yes concert, John Anderson pointed at me and blew me a kiss.
Oh.
Wow. If you'd have said that sentence in reverse, that would have been pretty funny.
Derek, have you been mocked for something you love?
Every single person here mocked me vigilantly for being a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, and look what happened. World champions! Keep it up.
Thank God
Keep
we
it
were
up.
vigilant.
Stay with us. We've got the news coming up next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. Near Chehalis on I-5 southbound at Rush Road, we have an accident blocking the left lane. And over in Kent on State Route 167 northbound, just after 212th Street, there's an accident in that area blocking the shoulder. Taco Bell is always coming out with crazy items, and they just took it to the next level. They've made a taco shell completely out of fried egg and filled it with bacon, potatoes, and cheddar cheese. It's called the Naked Egg Taco, and you can now get two for just $3.49. It's all the breakfast you love wrapped in a fried egg shell. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know, I woke up this morning feeling very relaxed and refreshed, which I was kind of weird because I thought I went to bed pretty late last night. But I've noticed that's just the way it works now that I sleep on a My Pillow. My Pillow, I just fall asleep faster. I stay asleep. I no longer have those weird neck and back pains. I did not realize until I got the My Pillow how old my other pillow was. Like, I'm embarrassed to tell you how many years old it was. And with a down pillow, you can't just throw that sucker in the washer and dryer, can you? No, so that was a pretty yucky pillow. My Pillow, on the other hand, it's fluffed up and plump and awesome, and it can be thrown in the washer and dryer and stay fresh and clean. You will love My Pillow. You are also going to love the offer they have. 50% off with promo code KZOK. Call them 800-304-4756, 800-304-4756, or go to mypillow.com. But don't forget that promo code for 50% off. There's a money back guarantee. It is an American made product. Get one now. Mypillow.com, promo code KZOK.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Right now in Seattle, it's 42 and cloudy. Today, there'll be showers with a forecasted high of 48 and a low of 46.
Thanks, Google. Tonight we'll be getting overnight rain showers with lows around 45. This is going to bring us into Tuesday when we'll see more showers and a high of around 50. This report is brought to you by Google Assistant. It's your personal Google Assistant, and it's always ready to help. With over 1 million actions, it works across all of your devices like Google Home, your phone, and more. Google Assistant is ready for you whenever and wherever you need. Download it today and discover what your Google Assistant can do for you. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
This morning, the Trump administration expelled 60 Russian diplomats and ordered Russia's consulate here in Seattle to close.
Just here in Seattle?
Well, there are not a lot of Russian consulates. This is the closest one to Russia. And
okay.
Because you can see Russia from my backyard,
Yeah.
Right.
Or somebody's backyard.
There are only, I think, 3 Russian consulates.
Oh, I had no idea. I would have thought there were dozens.
Yeah, it's bizarre because some cities will have a ton. Like we have a lot of Mexican consulates, but Derek could look it up. But I'm pretty sure there are only 3 Russian consulates.
Wow.
And
Well, 2 now, right?
well, they're ordering this one closed, and they are saying this one in particular. They are concerned because of the counterintelligence because of its proximity to a U.S. Navy base.
Oh.
So this, according to officials, they will give them 7 days to leave the United States. And this is all in retaliation to that alleged
They should be able to
poisoning.
move faster. That their name is Russian. They should be able to go, okay, bye. Be on the next jet.
Well, some had questioned Donald Trump's lack of reaction to this poisoning
Right.
in England, and now saying that action is now being taken.
I think most of the news is, I don't think fake news. I think something along the lines of what everybody on my news channels is telling me happened. I think some of this stuff happened. So, but I would say in my world, a ton of the headline news, first thing, big deal. They don't care. Shut up. I'm busy. The president's busy. We're busy.
Yeah.
Poisoning someone and their kid on to sovereign name. You can't. I'm incensed. That's real news for me.
It does
Somebody's
seem like
really
something
sick.
Yeah, worth paying attention
It
to.
does. Remember the last guy they poisoned died a grisly death.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I'm sure of it.
It looks like after the one in Seattle closes, there will be 4 left.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
No. Vandals have once again targeted a controversial Confederate monument off of I-5 in Ridgefield, Washington. Jefferson Davis Park is located on a small patch of land. It is the only Confederate monument in the Pacific Northwest. It has been targeted several times. The flags have been torn down. The monument itself was defaced. And I get like some people are very angry about this, but this is a privately owned monument. So you're just defacing someone's property. They would like it to be taken down, but the people who...
Well, not just. They're not just defacing someone's property. They're making a full-blown statement.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And as long as these things are kept somewhere, that they're just not thrown in the scrap heap of life, I kind of get it. First I didn't. It's like, man, what are we doing? That's our history. Hang on to it. All right. What if they were Germans? What if they were decorated Nazis? Okay, I would take that thing down personally.
Yeah.
So now I get it, but don't forget your history. You got to move that to some sort of museum or something.
Most of the public monuments have been moved to museums.
Museum.
But this was a privately owned thing on somebody's property.
Is it a privately owned monument or is it privately owned?
Both.
It's on private property, yeah.
It's on private
Both
property.
are private, yeah.
The Sons of the Confederate Veterans say they plan to restore it and will possibly add a fence or surveillance cameras to stop it from happening again. Well, what everybody's talking about this morning, in addition to Donald Trump and Russia, well, the big Stormy Daniels interview that aired on 60 Minutes last night. Stormy Daniels sat down with Anderson Cooper, talked about a lot of the different facets of her alleged affair with Donald Trump.
Which is a one-night stand, their affair.
She said it was one night.
Yeah.
She said she was paid $130,000 by Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen.
She was paid $130,000 to keep her mouth shut. I don't think she listened.
She said she was paid this money just before the 2016 presidential election. Her reason for doing so, according to Stormy Daniels, was a threat against her well-being and her daughter. But that's just one of many facets of this interview. At one point, Stormy Daniels tells Anderson Cooper about being alone in Trump's room and the situation.
I excused myself and I went to the restroom. I was in there for a little bit and came out, and he was sitting, on the edge of the bed when I walked out, perched. I realized exactly what I'd gotten myself into, and I was like, oh, here we go. And I just felt like maybe it was sort of, I had it coming for making a bad decision for going to someone's room alone. And I just heard the voice in my head, well, you put yourself in a bad situation and bad things happen, so you deserve this.
So Stormy Daniels' take on this, and therefore I would have to go with the Me Too movement, is you have it coming. You're wearing your dresses too short? You have it coming. You went up into a man's room on your own? You have it coming. That's what she said.
She says this is not a Me Too moment.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No. But I didn't say no. I'm not a victim. I'm not.
It was entirely consensual.
Oh, yes.
So she went on to say that specifically, this is not a hashtag Me Too moment, that this is a decision I made. It's just.
So what did she get herself into?
That she's saying she didn't go there with the intention of wanting to sleep with him, but that she felt compelled to do so because she was in his room alone.
Well, if she's compelled, then she's a victim. I don't think she's compelled.
Yeah, she's saying that she slept with him because she felt like because I was in his room, I have to sleep with him.
Well, her exact words are, "I have it coming. I had it coming."
Yeah.
This is what look what I got myself into. So what I'm trying to do here, so if you don't get it, is I hate her. I hate her. My news is filled with this woman. Who cares? And you know who made this a story? Is Donald Trump made this a story. It's a non-story. We're not in charge of who, not even a candidate, sleeps with. Whether he cheats on his wife, none of that's any of our business. Now you make it a thing during you're the president and everybody's watching. I'm starting to hate both of you.
Well, he has long denied this affair, and she said that it absolutely happened. This was right after Melania Trump gave birth to their son, Barron, that they sleep in separate bedrooms. She did have adult relations with Donald Trump, and that there may be more physical data evidence to support her claims. We shall see.
Has anybody ever seen any of her movies?
No.
No, I wasn't even aware of her until
I wasn't
this,
either.
yeah.
I Googled because of this. She's a nasty girl. She does real bad, iffy things.
She doesn't do like the soft porn?
No.
President Donald Trump has rankled more feathers by issuing an order to ban transgender people from serving in the military, except under, quote, limited circumstances, close quote. This is following up on his calls to ban transgender individuals from serving. The White House says retaining troops with a history or a diagnosis of gender dysphoria or those who might require medical treatment will present a considerable risk to military effectiveness, that it's cost.
Have they ever sent transgender people into an armed conflict? I mean, gun shooting war?
Plenty.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the people that I was aware of that when this initially was a story was a Navy SEAL who served for 20 years.
He wasn't
and came out.
transitioning when he was a Navy SEAL. I've seen that guy speak a bunch of times. I wonder if anybody who's, this guy's talking about, the president's talking about people that got to go to the doctor, they got to take all sorts of drugs, to make sure they don't, whatever it is that haven't hit some kind of milestone. Because I don't know of any yet. I don't know of any women yet running into a shooting war. And I'll bet they have, but they haven't made it known to me.
Yeah, lots of men and women serve in wartime situations, but this is what he has said in the past is financial, that he doesn't think the military should bear the burden. It's not about what bathroom do they use. It's not about how does the person next to them feel about it if they were to find out. It is a cost prohibitive for the military. But what they're saying is limited circumstances, so that could mean that people who currently are transitioning or have transitioned will not be kicked out.
And this is a personal observation on my part, but guys who want to become women and then identify as women, I think for 99% of the time, you look at them for 10 seconds, you go, oh, you were born a man. You maybe don't say that because you're not rude, but women who become men, they become like pretty great men. They look just like facial beards, muscles, all sorts of stuff going on there.
Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg took out full-page ads in several British and American newspapers yesterday to apologize for a, quote, breach of trust, end quote, in the Cambridge Analytica scandal. He said, in part, you may have heard about the quiz app built by university researchers that leaked Facebook data to millions of people in 2014. This was a breach of trust, and I am sorry that we did not do more at the time. We are now taking steps to ensure it does not happen again. This appeared in the UK's The Observer, the Sunday Times, the Mail, the Mirror, the Express, the Telegraph. Here in America, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
Lengthy.
So he
big
did
ad.
stuff on purpose.
This was not. This was an app that was intentionally put on Facebook.
Right, and then gave that information to somebody else. So when he says, I'm sorry, he did something wrong, not just like, hey, we didn't know, right?
Well, it's his company. It's his website.
But it's not I didn't know. This is an I did know, right?
I mean, he's saying that they violated the terms of service. So the information that Facebook provided them was used in a way different than they were allowed to use it. So he's sorry, but not saying it was his fault.
That's what I was trying to get.
He's
not saying it was his fault.
He's not saying it's his fault. He's saying that he's sorry that it happened.
Okay.
And in the immediate aftermath of Facebook's apology and this Cambridge Analytica data breach, a new poll has found that just 41% of Americans trust the social networking giant with their personal data. When it comes to Amazon, the trust level is 66. For Google, it is 62. For Microsoft, it is 60. So people are not trusting Facebook after this massive data breach. People also don't trust Yahoo because several years ago, they too had a massive data breach. The poll was not asked about other social media like Twitter and Instagram, but Facebook's trust, not high.
I saw an interview with one of the professors at UW who worked on this, the algorithms for the data that they're collecting or similar research. And the stuff that they're tracking is amazing because it's not just what you would think, things that you post on Facebook, things that you like on Facebook or interact with. It's also stuff that you type into a box on Facebook and then delete. They're tracking that.
Wow.
They're tracking the pace at which you're scrolling through Facebook. So if there's things that if you hover over a particular piece of content for 1 second versus 5 seconds.
It seems like too much information to be valuable. Now, they're way smarter than me. My wife and I, we play gin, right?
Yeah.
And cards. And I can see her cards half the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes, early on, I would say, hey, I can see your cards. Stop doing that. But the fact of the matter is, if I see that she's got 3 diamonds, I can't look at my game and go, hey, I'm going to alter everything to make sure she doesn't get more diamonds. So the information doesn't help me. I'm assuming they have the things that makes what they're scrolling on for more than a couple of seconds valuable to them.
It's being fed into artificial intelligence, into computers.
So
it's not
your
a person
point
looking at it.
Is that they're smarter than me playing gin rummy?
No, that their robots are smarter than you playing Jim Rummy.
Monkey robots.
Their monkey robots
Did
are
I
smarter.
tell you the future's in the hands of monkey robots?
Exactly.
People in Eastern Europe have been wondering about the appearance of orange snow. Pictures of the snow have been posted to social
How do you
media.
even make that, Danny?
Tang. That's all I'm saying.
Russia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Romania, Moldova. Orange snow.
Moldova?
It is super creepy looking. Now, meteorologists say that this is not Tang.
Right.
It's not somebody with weird winky. It is sand from the Sahara Desert that has been so stormy that it is mixing with rain and snow and then moving it east.
Sure. Whatever you got.
To Bulgaria, Ukraine, Romania, Moldova, and Russia. Orange snow. Wouldn't you think the world was ending?
Orange is the new snow, I guess.
And to answer that, yes, I would think the world was ending.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Moldova was a real place.
5 men were removed from a plane that was forced to divert to Winnipeg on its way from the UK to Vegas.
Yeah.
How mad would you be?
Hello. I want to put my money down on red. That was pretty good, actually.
It was really good.
So you leave the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Vegas, baby. And you have people on the airplane that are so unruly that they make a pit stop in Winnipeg, Canada.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, they didn't say exactly what they were doing, but these 5 men were taken off the plane, and they said it was mischief and causing a disturbance. waiting for details on what exactly
Yeah,
they did.
I totally want to know. And they got stuck in Lose a Peg. That's what we used to go. We used to go there and gamble when I lived in Detroit. Lose a Peg.
That's awesome.
It was right next to. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Windsor.
Windsor, which now is, of course, Loser.
Winnipeg is similar in that it's like straight up from Detroit, but just probably a 3-hour flight.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't do that. We
You know
drove
what's
through
in
a tunnel.
Winnipeg?
Nothing good.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Strip clubs and casinos.
That's Windsor.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And monkey robots.
And the city of Miami is so annoyed by the army of spring breakers descending onto its beaches, they have decided to try to do something about it.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, you've gone to spring break in
I
Florida.
have.
And it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, they have decided in Miami the answer is Mozart.
Really?
Mozart. They have thought if they were to play Mozart throughout the beaches and in the common areas, just the streets where people would congregate to party, it will make them less likely to do so.
Well, I think they're stupid.
Wouldn't
That
you?
will-
If
yeah.
you're out like drinking, you're partying, like you want to be bumping to something, you don't want to listen to Mozart.
Well, if I'm walking down the street, but if I go to any of my parties, they're going to drown this out with speakers.
Yeah.
Right. Well, most of it's on the beaches, and they said they want to try to stop people.
No,
and
I can get down to
is the
Mozart.
answer.
Could you get down to Mozart there, Paul?
I could get down to Mozart.
We can get down to Mozart.
Yeah, you can get
Derek,
down
you're the
to
one that
Mozart.
gets down to stuff. Can you get down to Mozart?
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. All right, we're all going to spring break. Because I think they'd welcome me back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Border Patrol agents seized nearly $1 million worth of methamphetamine that were hidden inside of containers of canned cheese. Why would they can cheese?
Oh, to spread on a
Spread,
cracker.
yeah.
Oh, like cheese whiz,
Yeah,
that stuff?
just like that.
And when you go to Geno's in Philadelphia
Yeah.
and you want it with, they take a giant can of melted whiz and just drip it on your sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds really gross when you say
It
it.
does sound gross. It's the voice, man. Ah, look at
I think
those.
it was the
dainty
dripping and the whiz.
Dripping
cuddly
whiz.
bears. Oh, that's gross. My she said it.
Well, they can't fool the canine unit. That's what happened. It was a charter bus, and there was a suitcase, and inside that suitcase, 30 pounds of meth worth almost $1 million.
Wow. Are those dogs going to be okay?
Well, it was inside the can, so they didn't
They didn't get any? Because
Inhale it.
how you find dogs find it is they sniff it, which
Yeah,
can't
right.
be good for them.
No.
Start going to Grateful Dead shows, whatever happens to dogs.
What?
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 On that
I
note,
just
I think
said that.
we're going to take a break.
I think we should.
Took a weird turn. But we do have music news right around the corner. Beatles history has been made.
Yay.
Gene Simmons is issuing an apology.
That's weird.
Something crazy happened at the box office. Oh, and we are going to give you a chance to win your way into the Seattle Thunderbirds and Everett Silvertips playoff game next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Aer Lingus. On I-90 eastbound at 150th Avenue near Eastgate, we have a crash partially blocking the on-ramp. And on State Route 167 northbound, just after 212th Street in Kent, there's an accident there that's blocking the shoulder. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, it's being reported that over 350 never-before-seen photos of the Beatles have sold at auction for about $358,000.
Wow.
These were the photos that were taken by an 18-year-old named Mike Mitchell in 1964. This was this was the first ever concerts in the United States. He saw the band perform on the Ed Sullivan Show, then took photos of them in D.C. They said this was the guy who couldn't afford a flash and had to do unique photos because of the lighting. So these have now sold at auction for, as I said, they're about $358,000.
Same guy own them? The guy that took them?
I don't believe so, because this was an auction house selling it, and I don't know why these were never seen. I think that somebody had been storing them in a drawer and just forgot about them.
Is it Mike?
I don't believe it is Mike.
Oh, so somebody, all right, so he let them out of his hands. I wonder if he's bumming. I would be.
I wonder if he's no longer with us.
I think he's no longer with us.
Oh,
It was the state who found the photos.
Yeah, I would think if he went all that time without, publicly showing these pictures, that he didn't want them to get out. They were just kind of for
I think he's
himself.
just sloppy.
Yeah.
Just in some drawer somewhere.
He just put them in the junk drawer and forgot about them.
Oh, I got this picture of those crazy kids with that wacky hairdo.
Ringo Starr has announced he is heading back out on tour, a 2018 tour with his all-star band, which will be a little bit different this time around. A couple of the same people are returning, but the guy who you talked about from the last tour, Todd Rundgren, will not be joining them because he's going out on a tour with his own band. So this tour will
that guy
have...
fills in for people. It seems to be his job. He toured with the Cars too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's going out with his original band, who I believe is called Utopia. I was going to say Europe, but that's totally not the band.
Totally not the band.
Utopia, Todd Rundgren's original band. So Ringo Starr will be with Colin Hay from Men at Work.
I love Colin Hay. He does a great solo show. He really does.
I've heard that,
Yeah.
honestly.
I saw him up at Snoqualmie, they have that Mountain View Plaza, the outdoor
He's one of the few
venue.
guys that are in a band that not everybody knows what everybody's doing that you can identify twice. Is he the eyeball guy?
That I don't. What do you mean by
what
the
band
eyeball
is this?
guy? Men at Work. He was
Yeah.
the front man from Men at Work.
His one eye looked to the left constantly.
Oh,
Like
really?
Big. I wondered if
I didn't get that close.
it was his whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, he talked about it. He went on interview shows about it.
You know a lot more about Men at Work than we do,
guess
but
so.
Paul's the
Well,
only one who's seen them live.
The other one was that they're Australian, so I was going to go see the Australian guy. I'm not sure. How about the guy with the eyeball? Oh, yeah, it's definitely him.
Yeah.
Guitarist Steve Lukather from Toto, Greg Rowley from Santana and Journey, saxophonist Warren Ham from Toto, and Toto's drummer Greg Bissonette. This is Ringo Starr's all-star band. That's the good news. The bad
Okay.
news is there is not a date in Washington yet.
Luckily I saw them, I think, last year. And they were
We'll keep you
great. It was a
posted.
lot of fun.
Gene Simmons, we told you, has decided to be the spokesperson and part of a company called Invictus that is a Canadian cannabis company.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we talked about this on Friday, and everybody lost their mind because for years, Gene Simmons of KISS has been very outspoken, saying do not use any drugs. He says he has never used anything other than prescription, if he got a doctor's prescription to help him cure something. And so they said, what are you doing? You've long told us no to drugs. This is a drug. Well, he spoke out over the weekend and said, I was wrong and I was not informed. Obviously,
About being their spokesperson or about marijuana?
marijuana.
How do you not know marijuana's a drug? Like, he should have just shut up and vanished.
Or is he saying I was misinformed by thinking that it was a bad thing, but now I know it's so fantastic?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
Paul,
that's
that
another
is-
way to go.
Is that what it is?
More what it is.
Wow.
He said, I have been very dismissive of cannabis. I didn't know much about it. I just dismissed it. Drug abuse. You don't have to be a genius to reject it. However, I've got to man up and admit. In the past, I used to dismiss a lot of things because of ignorance and arrogance. Then I did my new research. Doctors and researchers, the way they're talking about cannabis, it can help people with cancer, HIV, AIDS, chronic pain, muscle spasms. That he says he now has educated himself and realizes saying no to drugs is not a blanket statement. That something like cannabis can be positive.
He's just such a liar. I can't believe it.
Do you think he's just in it for the money?
Well, it's just, yes, he's in
Yeah.
everything for the money, but I mean, when it started becoming legal, and he lives in the state of California, right? So they just had a gigantic thing about for like 10 years now. You had a medical card for it. He's lying through his teeth that he was unaware. Somebody called him on this, and he said, "Oh, I just read a book. It's a fascinating book. It's called Danny and the Dinosaur." But anyway, apparently marijuana is good for you. What an idiot.
Well, this is a Canadian company, and this is a company that he will be the spokesperson for. He owns a lot of interest in. He purchased $10 million of the stock, and this company, Invicta, will be on the Toronto Stock Exchange with the ticker name Gene.
Oh, he must be in heaven.
Yeah. Is his likeness going to be on the packaging as well?
Oh, I would imagine so. He's crazy about his likeness. And so would they be, especially the in makeup.
Right, yeah.
I want to remind you guys that we are giving you a chance to win $1,000 every hour. Money for nothing on KZOK. You are listening for the new keyword. You then text it to 200 for your chance to win, and you are going to have another chance in just a few minutes, so do not go anywhere. In entertainment news, it is a beautiful day to honor Mr. Rogers.
Yes, it is. Every day's a good day to honor Mr. Rogers.
They have come out with a stamp that features Mr. Rogers. And now they said that he's in his trademark cardigan.
Danny, are you over here thinking about licking Mr.
Yes,
Rogers?
I most certainly am.
But the backside, though, right? You don't lick the front.
No, you
that's
certainly
where,
lick the back of Mr. Rogers.
You don't lick stamps
That's
anymore, you
why
people.
I didn't say. What do you mean, you people? That's why I didn't say it.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
Sadly, Mr.
You can
Rogers
count on one of us.
died back in 2003 at the age of 74.
Oh, you definitely don't want to lick him now.
His show was on from 1968 to 2001.
I'll bet that rad bastard has a star.
Oh, for sure he has a
does,
star.
for sure.
I bet he has two.
Does Mr. Rogers have a star?
Just say yes.
On the
I'm gonna
Hollywood
say
Walk
look
of
it up
Fame?
this time.
He's got to have one on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and one on the Canadian Walk of Fame. And I don't even think he's Canadian, but I mean,
Right.
come on, he's Canadian. Look at the guy. He looks Canadian.
He does. He does.
He's
look a little
Canadian enough for
yeah,
me.
Sure.
All right,
Fred
so Paul,
Rogers does, in fact, have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Paul, you
But
said
I don't
that
mind his.
you are not watching this with your daughter.
No, we haven't been watching Mr. Rogers.
Well, then you're probably not familiar with the delivery man whose name is Mr. McFeely.
I don't know him.
I don't
Mr.
remember that from
Ah,
watching it.
No.
I met Mr. McFeely a couple of times. I don't like to talk about it.
I remember there being like a postman that comes
But
every day
wasn't
and
that
delivers
Danny
stuff.
Glover?
No, it was a guy named David Newell
Nah,
who
same
played Mr. McFeely,
Yeah.
the delivery man on Mr. Rogers.
Mr.
What did Lawrence
McFeely.
Fishburne do?
He was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
Yeah,
same thing.
but was he the mailman on Pee Wee Herman too, though?
I don't know, but I got to work on my Pee Wee.
You really do.
Yeah, you do. Well, while you work on your Pee Wee Herman, let's give people a chance to win $1,000. Text luck right now to 200 KZOK.com to find out all the contest rules and details.
Now we're giving people a chance at money for nothing, and Danny growls.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
because you don't get to win.
Yeah, okay, because I don't get to win.
I'd love to win.
Did I growl? I didn't even know I growled. Sometimes, like these things don't just, I don't give them a lot of thought. Just, so I'll be sitting around and I will think, and then I'll think, I growled at something.
And sometimes that's yummy too. Like,
Yeah, yeah, totally.
it's hard to tell. So maybe the $1,000 is yummy.
I think that you were responding to somebody in your head. Somebody said something you didn't like.
That's what they say. Oh, man, they're yelling at each other out there. Are you kidding?
Y'all remember the most interesting man in the world?
Yeah. Danny Bonaducci sitting right there.
No, the guy from Dos Equis.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
but
guy.
I see your point, though.
Yeah, okay.
Jonathan Goldsmith, the guy with the close cropped beard, the older man.
Yeah,
who
who they
was-
fired
Yes.
without any love.
Well, don't worry about it because he's got another job. He will be hosting and judging the Best Beard Awards in Vermont. This
Really?
is for Make-A-Wish, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Does he wish he had his job back?
He will be judging others' beards. And this is something that raises about $30,000 to $50,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay. Katie Holmes.
What?
Wow.
She's my favorite beard. I don't even know if that's she's the right person to be married to. I just picked that name.
They're not married anymore, but that was quality.
Thank you.
At the box office over the weekend.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim uprising dethroned Black Panther.
Wow, finally.
Yeah, it was 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Something like that.
Wow.
It's been a while for Black Panther. Now, Pacific Rim 2 overseas did gangbusters. Here in the U.S., $28 million.
That's not even that good, is it?
No. It's better than they expected, but for what it cost to make and promote, no, that's not good.
Do you know what it cost?
$150 million.
That's too much to open up with $28 million or something.
However, overseas, it debuted to $150
Now,
million.
when you say overseas, where are you?
65 of that was China.
That's what I was thinking.
But then double that, and it's just the rest of the globe. I mean, people go see those movies in Europe and Russia and wherever else they keep countries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Overseas.
who knows where they're keeping those countries?
So Pacific Rim at number 1. Black Panther took in an additional $16.5 million at number 2.
That ain't nothing for being out so as long as it has.
Have we
been.
seen it yet?
Crazy.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Let's see. I Can Only Imagine was at number 3. Sherlock Gnomes at number 4. And Tomb Raider at number 5. So Black Panther may have been dethroned, but it is now one of the top 5 grossing films in box office history.
And it's not even done yet, I wouldn't think.
No. And it is now the most successful superhero movie ever. Ever.
Wow.
Are we just in an age though that like these superhero movies are such big blockbusters? Whatever they come out with next is going to be the most successful superhero movie ever?
They do believe that that will be the case because the next one is another Avengers.
Yeah.
And it's already tracking to be awesome.
I rented Thor Ragnarok or whatever it's
Ragnarok,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, that thing. And it was fabulous, but I didn't think it did Avengers type money at the box office.
It did very well, but this next one that's coming out is tracking to gross $700 million domestically.
Domestically. We don't even have that many people.
So Black Panther has passed the domestic totals of Star Wars. Let's see, Jurassic World and Titanic are the other ones, adjusting for inflation.
Crazy.
Avatar still.
I was
still
wondering
up there.
about Avatar.
You should see that sometime, Dan.
I know. They're all blue, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA. That's 1-800-DUIOA. The Seattle Thunderbirds and the Everett Silvertips are tied at 1 game apiece in the first round of the WHL playoffs. And we've got a chance for you to be there as they battle it out Friday night at the Acesso Showwear Center. If you would like to go, caller 10 right now will win those tickets. 800-252-1025. Call now, and you will be seeing the Seattle Thunderbirds beat the Everett Silvertips.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Speaking of beating, the Mariners beat the Padres yesterday, 11-7. They're off today, and tomorrow they play the Rockies at a noon 10 start time. You know what happens on Thursday, don't you, Doochman?
I do.
The Mariners begin their regular season.
That's what I was thinking.
Playing Crazy Mary's Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, opening day of baseball.
Turns out that's an actual team. Kind of weird.
7:10 start time at Safeco Field, and yes, Felix Hernandez will start. This is his 10th straight opener.
Wow, hey.
And
look
it's
at him go.
a big honor to be the season opener.
I got kind of lost in the parking area at Safeco and ran into this personal car collection of like some really nice cars, and that's who owns them.
Yeah, he's doing all right, Felix.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
Left-hander Wade LeBlanc has rejoined the Seattle Mariners 2 days after asking for release from the New York Yankees. We traded him to Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and now he is back and playing for the Seattle Mariners. Now, we were talking about that season opener, which is Thursday. And then it's a big party all weekend long. So Thursday is opening night, 7:10. There's going to be red carpet introductions, fireworks, and more. There are still some seats available. Opening night presented by KeyBank are available right now at mariners.com. Plus, giving you another chance to win a pair tomorrow at 7:20.
Very nice.
Wow.
7:20 is the right time, right?
To 7:20, we'll have tickets for opening weekend for the Saturday night
Yeah.
game, which is Robinson Cano Bobblehead Night.
Robinson Cano Bobblehead Night.
But tomorrow we'll have a bonus pair for opening day. On
Really?
Thursday. Yeah, so look at us go.
Oh my gosh, we've got so much to give away. That is fantabulous. Now, we are going to have a huge turnout at Safeco Field, but some other teams are not doing so hot. The Oakland Athletics announced they are going to try a new strategy when it comes to playing their crosstown rival, the San Francisco Giants, this weekend. They have announced that they're going to have special ticket pricing for any Giants fan who yells, "Go A's!" So if you cheer on the
What?
enemy,
Yeah.
you get a $20 discount.
What?
Why would they do this?
So imagine when the Toronto Blue Jays come to Seattle. That's
Yeah.
a big rivalry.
Yeah, all of Canada comes to see him play.
Right. Imagine if we offered a $20 discount if they yelled "Go Mariners." How many of them would do it?
A bunch. They're Canadian. They have no loyalty to anything.
Or vice versa. If the Mariners if all the Mariners fans went down to Oakland, would they yell "Go A's" for $20?
I guess.
I'm not, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's in it for the team.
I would. How do they know I did it?
They have to hear you yell it, and you have to be wearing your gear.
Oh, so I have to wear a Blue Jays hat and yell "Go Mariners."
So I have to spend $100 on crap I don't want,
right?
And yell something they won't hear,
Yeah.
and hope they'll give me $20 I don't have.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Congratulations to David in Seattle. He's going to the Jeep Winners window to pick up his tickets to the Thunderbirds. It's the Thunderbirds and the Everett Silver Tips on Friday, and we will be giving people more chances to win, correct?
Yeah, we'll have more tickets tomorrow and Wednesday as well.
Thank you. The Seattle Seahawks have signed defensive tackle Tom Johnson, and they're bringing back defensive end Marcus Smith. Now, this is
Sound like made up names. Like that's what you check into the hotel under when you're having an affair. I'm Marcus Smith and Tom Johnson.
Now, we've had some spots to fill with the trade of Michael Bennett and the loss of Sheldon Richardson. And speaking of Michael Bennett, terrible story surfaced about him over the weekend. He has been indicted by a Texas grand jury for allegedly injuring an elderly paraplegic worker at the Super Bowl. A warrant has been issued for Bennett's arrest. His spokesperson, Michael Bennett, said that he will be cooperating and turning himself in. He went to the Super Bowl to watch his brother, Martellus Bennett, playing for the New England Patriots.
Right.
This is not this past year's Super Bowl, but the one prior.
All right. When does he smack the guy in the wheelchair? Because I'm on pins and needles.
At the end of the game.
A woman.
When does he smack the lady in a wheelchair?
In a wheelchair or on braces of some sort?
On braces of some sort.
Not the kind on your teeth?
Nope. The kind
right.
on your legs.
Come on, this is terrible. I want to know.
So Michael Bennett's brother's playing for the Patriots. It's
Yeah.
the Atlanta Falcons game on February 5th of last year. He said, goes to get onto the field. And the 66-year-old paraplegic says, "You can't use this entrance. You have to go down there." And he said, "Y'all must not know who I am. I could own this place. I'm going on the field whether you like it or not." And then pushed her aside. Not only is this a woman, it is a woman over 65, which is an additional charge.
Right, sure.
They're charging him with elder abuse.
This is a hate crime.
It's elder abuse.
Okay, I don't want to be insensitive, but why is a 67, 66-year-old
On
paraplegic
braces.
woman is the head of security?
Okay,
at the
first of all,
NFL stadium?
I don't know that. So she works there.
Yeah.
She works there.
Oh.
Crowd control, security.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
So and then he punches her in the face.
Pushes her. She fell over and hurt herself. Well, he hurt her.
I think you're laughing, so you have to tell us why.
Well, what is the injury? She was like well, I'm wondering
I
what
think
she hurt.
He might have
did
a
she,
point.
Did she hurt
it a
her
new
shoulder?
hurt?
Like, is it a new injury? You know, like if you're in a car accident and you go to the insurance, you have to prove that your back didn't hurt before.
If I get in the car, my leg is broken, and we crash, I can't get money for my broken leg.
Right. Again, I want to repeat. I don't mean to sound insensitive.
Well, you do.
But
You sound like a rat, bastard, terrible person.
well, I'm glad you're on my side,
I
Danny.
am. What is up with this lady? And I don't think Bennett's a terrible guy. There's no way.
He seems pretty terrible in this situation, but
Right, but I don't believe that the situation is as it appears.
yeah.
I think somebody said he shouldn't have laid hands on anybody, but this sounds like he ran over somebody in a wheelchair, and I don't think that's what happened. He didn't get out of the way.
The legal experts that I've heard from say that there's no way that the case is going to go through because the statute is that it's elder abuse. He had to have knowingly hurt a person over the age of 65. Yep. He had to know she was 66 or 67 years old before he committed.
And she looked pretty good for a lady in braces.
Right. Like how can you prove that he knew she was over the age of 65?
But I would like to fine him $1 million for saying, "Don't you know who I am?" That's a terrible crime.
Yeah, if that's true, then he should go to jail
I could own
anyway.
This place, you can't. You should go to jail on all these things. But I don't think he intentionally hurt an old lady in braces.
Sounds like he did, though.
So that's what I'm saying. It sounds exactly like he did. And I'm saying until all the information is in, I say he didn't.
Yeah, we should attach the word allegedly at some point in this.
Well, there's a warrant out for his arrest.
It's probably on video, but until I watch it over and over and over again, we should attach the word allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, think about that as the days that we're living in, that everything is on video.
Yeah, this was an NFL, playoff game. There's cameras all over the place.
Even though I don't like Bennett all that much because he's leaving us, I'm going to take his side in this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Until you see the video.
No, just in life. Just it's fun. No, because the lawyers are right. It's never even going to get a trial. He's not getting charged with any of this stuff. He's not going to be found guilty of any of it. Yeah. So therefore, I was on his side early on, and look at him get exonerated.
He'll probably plead out or pay something, donate money to charity. Something's going to happen.
Something. We got to see what that is, allegedly.
And the Cinderella story continues for Loyola Marymount. Victorious over the weekend, just such a bracket buster for people. They took down Kansas State with a 16-point victory on Saturday, advancing to the Final Four.
And it's Loyola Chicago, right?
Oh, yeah, what did I say? Loyola Marymount. Yeah, sorry, Loyola Chicago.
But I'm still number one, right?
You're number two.
In life.
Did you hear that evil laugh?
Where is he in the bracket, Sarah?
She comes over with some poop jokes, and now she's all on Twitter.
Yesterday, Villanova was victorious over Texas Tech, and Kansas beat Duke, breaking or busting Danny's bracket.
Oh, you brought you sunk my battleship.
It busted your wife's bracket worse than yours.
Well, she deserves it.
Amy is now at the bottom of the barrel, and Paul and my husband have skyrocketed to the top of the win list.
Not somehow. Kansas.
That's how.
Well, this is going to come down to the wire. We don't know who's going to win because Matt has Villanova going all the way. Paul and Jellybean have Kansas going all the way.
Who do I have going all the way?
Duke.
Are they still
You're
in
out.
the game? Oh, I'm out completely.
They lost last night.
I'm never better. That's it.
I don't think you could beat both Matt and I. You're either going to lose to me or you're going to lose to Matt, I think is most likely situation.
Brokenhearted.
You know what the winner gets?
To go to opening day at Safeco Field?
A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I didn't even think of that.
You know who has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, don't you?
Mr. friggin' Rogers.
And Steve Slayton.
Yeah.
Did you know that about him? He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
What a weirdo you are.
Weird and just mean.
Yeah, weird.
Even I'm not that kind of mean.
Yes, you are.
Much,
yes,
Paul.
you are, Paul.
I'll tell you things about Steve Slayton, whether he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's going to have your chances where you could possibly win some money. But really, you just get to listen to those perfect, that voice of his and get to go, oh, Steve Slayton, because that's what I do. And he's going to come in here any minute now, and he's going to play a lot of classic rock and roll for your listening pleasure. I will get out of his way, so bye.